Welcome back, everybody, to Hotfix. My name is Jiggy, and welcome to our Dead Cells Community Showcase. We are super excited to be bringing you three individualized runs that showcase the awesome gameplay that is Dead Cells. This is going to be a really fun block here on Hotfix, and we have some incredible runners that are going to bring you some awesome runs and showcases. But before I get into that, before we talk to all of them, I just want to talk to you all, because I hope that you're all having a great time here on the GDQ channel. I hope that you watched a little bit of Flame Fatales that just happened. Again, we have some really cool shows coming up. PAX West at the end of the month and TwitchCon next month. So there's all kinds of different things that we are doing here on GDQ to showcase and enable communities. And we kind of want you, we do want you to be involved. We actually have a new role that's coming out, and we're really excited because GDQ is looking for a new member of the games committee. So when you see at Games Done Quick, you see all the different games. The games committees, the whole team that finds the runners and works with everybody to showcase some incredible games. And we're looking for new people to join. So you can actually join. If you're interested in helping plan the mainline events, you can go and check out gamesdonequick.com/jobs. It's really cool, and I love being a part of this team. So I'd love you to be a part of this team. Speaking of that, if you're interested in getting involved, but maybe not on a jobs point of view, you can join the official GDQ Discord. You can follow all the mainline shows there, but then also you can add the Hotfix role. Hotfix, again, is our show programming that we do every single week here on the Games Done Quick channel, and it's really cool. We have all kinds of different shows, so make sure you go in there and join, add the Hotfix role, and you can keep tabs on all kinds of upcoming events. Talk to the team, talk to the staff, get involved in that way, and yeah, just use !Discord in the chat. All right, that's where we're at right here. So let's get into this. Let's get into the Dead Cells Community Showcase. Let me tell you here, we have ourselves three runs today. Our first one here is Vord playing 0 to 5 BC. Super excited about that. Then directly after that, we got a category that has gone through a lot of shifts, and hopefully she's going to talk a little bit about that before we get into it. But Kenra is doing new file any %. That's really exciting. And then to wrap it all up, we have Boss Rush mode, a full showcase of the Boss Rush mode here with V.me. So I'm excited to be here. I hope that you all are too. Do we have any Dead Cells fans in the chat right now? Can I get a 1 in the chat if you're a fan of Dead Cells? Because this is the show for you. Vord and Kenra, how are you, by the way?
I'm doing great, thank you. I hope there's a lot of Dead Cells fans in chat right now.
I know I'm definitely a fan. I'm definitely a fan of Dead Cells. I've been playing it ever since they released it. I know this is how you can call me the casual of this whole thing, but I've been playing a lot of Dead Cells on my phone, actually, on iOS. That's how I kind of got started into it. But
the mobile version.
Yeah, the mobile version. I've been having a good time with that. But I wanted to talk to both of you here and see a little bit of like, how did you get into the Dead Cells speedrunning community, and like what are we gonna see today? Because both of you are playing this game, both of you are showcasing two different runs, and I'm just really excited to see them.
Yeah, so I got into the community about 4 to 5 years ago, somewhere around that. And I got into speedrunning because of this category that I will be showcasing. Because it used to be just a challenge run back then, where people would go through 0 to 5 BC without dying a single time. And it didn't matter how fast you went or whatever. But now people made a speedrun out of this. And I saw someone do it live on Twitch. Shoutouts to King DKC. He's like the OG of this category. And I thought to myself, wait, I can do that. I can do that faster. And so I went live and did it. And then after that, I got hooked into speedrunning this.
That's super cool. That's super cool. So wait, do you speedrun any other games at this moment? Like, or are you just Dead Cells?
Right now, I don't speedrun other games, but I used to speedrun a lot of Hollow Knight as well.
And so you go from the Metroidvania over here to the to the roguelike.
No, I started with Dead Cells, then I went over to Hollow Knight, and then I also did a few runs in Death's Door, which is also like a kind of like a Metroidvania, Zelda-like-ish, if you want to call it that. But those were like both Hollow Knight and Death's Door were short-lived, I guess. Like I didn't really get that far into that, but Dead Cells is definitely my main game.
Dead Cells, yes. So tell me a little bit about this, like this run that we're gonna see today. What the plan is? This is a long run. Like you have a. It's over 2 hours, and can you give us just a little bit of insight of what we're about to see here?
The idea of 0 to 5 BC is basically like if you're familiar with the term Iron Man. It's like going from a new file, no unlocks, no nothing. To the end of the game, to the final difficulty, which means we're going through a couple of cycles, difficulty cycles, which are the boss cells. They will change a lot in the game, in the areas and the bosses and stuff. And eventually on 5 BC, we will reach the true final boss, which to some people might still be a spoiler. But yeah, and that's going to be it.
It's a spoiler for me, Vord.
Oh no, I'm going to spoil you.
It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, no, that's super exciting. And out of curiosity, I know that we're also celebrating the release of update 35. Have you gotten to play a little bit of it? Is there anything that you're super excited about that?
I've been playing it in the beta actually for a long time as well, because it's been in the beta releases tab on Steam for a long time as well, and I really like the new heads, like the new heads that you can collect through various challenges in the game. Like for example, there is one where you have to hit list the entire game to get a head. It's like a mini challenge of sorts, and I really like that this exists now.
Definitely excited about update 35, but you won't be running this run on update 35, right? This is 34. Is there a reason for that one?
Yes. So the reason is I want to use the speedrun mode that they've added. I think they added it in 33. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that's what it was. And the reason for that will be seen during the run. I can explain that better there. But also, update 35 added the cursed biomes, which is something that it changes the run in a way that makes it I don't know what the right word is. It just makes it slower by default, which is not great for speedruns, and it's not really like it doesn't make it more exciting. It's just making it slower, unfortunately.
Definitely. This is the more succinct run that you practiced before too. I mean, this is a new update, you know. So I want to jump on over to Kenra. Kenra, how did you get involved in the Dead Cells community, and what are we going to see from you later?
Okay, so in my case, how I got involved is actually a bit of a funny story. So I actually knew Vord before getting into Dead Cells speedrunning. I used to play the game a lot casually, never actually tried speedrunning until like almost 2 years ago or so. And then since I was getting along with Vord pretty well, I said, okay, I'm gonna do a Dead Cells speedrun as kind of like a Christmas present for Vord. So I was like, since I had another friend who was also running Dead Cells at the time, I reached out to him and I secretly learned the fresh file category. And I think my first run was like somewhere around 12 minutes. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, I basically just submitted that as kind of a surprise. Since I knew Vord really liked when people ran the game. Although it's not 0 to 5, but it was still like it was a nice surprise in that sense. And then I started to really like running the game too, so I just continued after that.
That's super cool. That sounds like a really great way to get involved and all that. And I know that you just got world record on this category that we're going to see later as well. And we'll definitely come back and touch on that. But I wanted to know, like, is there any other games that you showcase that you speedrun right now? Is there games that you've been playing? Like, what's the go-to right now?
So I actually do a lot of challenge run content these days, or just playing games casually, but I also got into speedrunning Tevi recently, which is a Metroidvania that released a couple of months ago. I don't think it's been a year yet. I think it was like December that it released, and it's like a really fun game, like some bullet hell elements, really pretty pixel art, and just it's a fun run as well. I really enjoy the movement in that game. But yeah, that's like the other game I was active in running mostly. But I just run Dead Cells right now, mostly.
Well, that is super cool, and I'm definitely excited to talk more with you later because, again, for anybody that is just joining us here, this is the Dead Cells Community Showcase. We are about to get started here with Vord, and then later on we have Canra doing a new file any %. But before we get into that, we're gonna get started here, and we're gonna say, you know. The time has come, everybody, all you Dead Cells fan. Update 35 is now out on Steam and consoles. Take command of the beheaded once more and venture into cursed biomes with an array of new weapons and legendary affixes at your disposal. Tackle new enemy types while juggling the looming threat of the curse. But don't worry, you'll die in style with over 40 new head customizations options at your fingertips. We just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has contributed to Dead Cells over the years, and all the players that have joined us on this journey. None of this would be possible without you. All right, Vord, are you ready? Are you ready to showcase 0 to 5 BC?
I am ready.
All right, take it away, Vord.
All right, so I have everything set up already, so we can start as soon as the timer, like if anyone can give a countdown. We can start pretty much instantly, hopefully.
I can do the countdown for you if you're ready.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, we're gonna go from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So I'm going to load into the first biome right here. It's the prisoner's quarters. And we pick up the beginner's bow. This is something that allows for this tech right here, the ledge cancel. What it does is if you jump and attack at the same time, you will, what was it? Was it here? No, that's the right way? I'm not sure. You can... what it means is you can skip the mantling animation, which is really nice sometimes. It's not a huge time save, but it's really good if you can do it consistently. So at this point in Prisoner's Quarters, all we need to do is find the exit to Promenade of the Condemned. And the best way to do this is by looking for the shop, which we will... I don't know if we will even see it, because it may not appear. There it is. Okay, that means I'm on the right way. And there's already the exit. The reason I'm using the speedrun mode, which is also a new addition, is because you just saw me pick up 2 scrolls instantly, right? And that's what speedrun mode does. It makes scroll pickups instant. And that's very helpful for real-time categories such as this one. That is the main reason.
And just to clarify to the chat, if I'm correct, this is a random seed, right? What you're doing?
Yes. So everything will be random seed in this category.
Are there specific items that you're looking for here?
There's a mechanic called the time doors and the kill doors, right? So if you get to the biome in under 2 minutes, which is what I did, you get a selection of items and also the blueprint for the assault shield, which is going to be very helpful as I unlock it in the next biome. But now, first of all, I'm gonna fight this elite, and then I'm gonna pick up this, the first meta upgrade of the run, which is called the Vine Room. And that's one of the reasons why this game is called a Metroidvania. Because you get abilities, and then you come back to earlier biomes to unlock more stuff there, and to access different areas with it. We won't be doing that for a while with the Vine Room, we just pick it up because it's fast to do it now. But we will see why in about an hour-ish. And now this biome is very simple. You just go right, you just keep going right until the end. I'm gonna put the wolf trap on Q because that's what I'm used to. And that's it. This biome is very consistent. You basically just go right while collecting scrolls. The way the scroll system works is also kind of important. Basically, every scroll you pick up adds 15% additional damage to your weapon. Which is, it can be very important because eventually, since it's exponential scaling, eventually you're going to get an insane damage boost for every single scroll that you pick up. It will be very noticeable in the late game, but in the early game it's also just very important to keep track of a specific number before you leave for the boss, for example. Just so you don't take an hour to fight a boss or something. This is the second elite of the game in Ramparts. Pick up the custom room. We won't be using the custom mode, which is what this unlocks, but it is still very important to pick this up so we don't have to fight the elite multiple times, because otherwise he would just spawn every single time. I picked up the assault shield just now in the transition room by interacting with the collector. It allows me to go fast, like this. By pressing both roll and the shield simultaneously, I can get a bigger speed boost than normal. And this
so for all the people that are just joining us here, can you give them just a little bit of a rundown on what we're going to see for the next 2 hours?
For the next 2 hours, you're going to see me climb through boss cells, which is the difficulty system of this game. They are obtained by killing the final boss every time on the new difficulty, basically, the one you unlock. And then you just climb and climb until 5VC, which unlocks the final area of the game and the final boss, which is what we're trying to kill. It is a very difficult category to get into because it's, you have to run the highest difficulty of this game with minimal equipment, or at least with whatever is fastest to unlock. So this is the first boss, the concierge. He's very simple. He's like a tutorial boss of sorts.
Don't say that, Ford. I died to him so many times.
Oh, same. I died to him when I started too.
I guess that would be a question I have for both you and Kemra here is like, if you're interested in getting involved and playing Dead Cells, either from a casual perspective or you're interested in speedrunning, like what would be, some advice you have for anybody that is just picking up the game here at update 35 or somebody who has been playing a while but wants to get into like speedrunning?
Kemra, go ahead.
If you want to go into speedrunning, I think it's honestly pretty easy to start. We have a few resources available, and we also have a really helpful community. So I think it's not too bad to get into speedruns. Like, even if you just launch the game and just run around with Assault Shield, it already feels really good to play. So I think that would be pretty easy to get into. As for playing casually, I think Vord can say a bit more about that.
Yeah, so casually, I think, I don't know if I'm exaggerating, but I think this game has the best movement that I had the chance to play in any game. And as you can see, it feels very smooth. It's like, very fluid. The fights are... Oops, I messed up the skip. The fights are very fluid. There's barely any downtime in fighting as well. So yeah, in my opinion, it's like probably the most fun game that I've had the chance of playing in the last maybe 5 to 10 years even. It's like, it makes sense because I have like 2,000 hours in this game at this point. But yeah, even casually, there's a lot of stuff you can do. There's over 150 items and weapons especially that you can find builds for. You're gonna have a great time. And if you don't, then you might have to look into a guide or something, or a way to build your character. Because it is a blast to just play this game, even casually.
And this game has a whole bunch of different things that you can do in it. I know that, like, they last year, I think they added the whole Castlevania section, which is pretty incredible. Is there a specific, especially in this route, are there specific biomes that you pick to get through faster?
Yes, so it's been optimized in a way that the shortest biomes are always the best, generally, unless you have to go through a specific biome to unlock like a boss or a different route, which is what we will do that later to get a even more optimal route for a later boss cell, and to also pick up abilities. But other than that, the most optimal route is what I'm doing right now for 0VC. It is the fresh file route as well, which is what we will see Kandra do, but with a more...
and this is really similar to fresh file, although...
at least this part, yeah.
Yeah, there is a little thing in the early game that won't be the same, but we'll get there.
Well, this is your first run, right, of the game? How many, is there 5 runs altogether?
There's 6 runs, because 0 counts as 1 as well. Oh, that's a star? Okay, nice. And that's, what is it? A legendary balance blade. Nice, that is awesome.
A really good legendary.
Legendaries are the best thing you can hope for. This is like, this alone wins the run, 100%. If I don't mess up something, of course. Because legendaries are just stronger.
Your sword you're talking about?
Yes, I just picked it up, and what it does is you see how my sinew slicer, for example, oh, this was not the key. My right skill, the E skill, it has like a little white arrow above it. That's like, it means it's upgraded to plus, or like +1, you could say. And legendaries have this funny thing where they are already upgraded 3 times automatically just by existing. So this is like a really, really powerful weapon for this stage of the game. And I hope I can showcase the damage soon.
So at this point in the game, you normally can't get level 3 upgraded items unless you find one from a cursed chest and then upgrade it once. Otherwise, it's only the legendaries that you can get. So this is really powerful for this point of the run.
Yeah, and hopefully we will see that just right now at the second boss, the Timekeeper. It's a very annoying boss if you don't have enough damage.
She's kind of like a glass cannon in a way. She can bully you pretty well, but she also dies pretty fast. Oh.
Unfortunate. I did not get the 1 phase, but yeah. That's the kind of damage you're looking for when you have a balance blade. It's like, it's insane. Especially as a legendary, of course.
That was still a super clean fight, though.
Yeah, but I took a hit, unfortunately. That I did not expect that to happen because of the shuriken ring that she does at the beginning.
Unfortunately, we won't get to see the ice grenade.
I was gonna say, Vord is already past where I made it in the game. There you go.
Yeah, if you know where you're going, it's very fast. Of course, in a speedrun, you also just try to avoid killing enemies if it's unnecessary, right? If it's like loses time. Like this, for example, I think any casual player is better off just killing enemies, unless they are confident in their movement as well. And yeah, Castle is a very interesting biome. You did not see that. No, you did not see that happening. I did not do anything there. Let's take this as well. That's a scroll for health. And yeah, okay, so Castle, you need to collect at least 2 keys to leave. And they are in these colored doors that are guarded by elites. The main idea, sometimes I can't jump. This is like a bit, it can be a skill issue. I feel like it is. But yeah, sometimes my inputs just don't work the way I want them to. But obviously it's still my fault that it happens.
This is a fresh file, yes, right?
Yes. I just started it from 0. No unlocks, no nothing.
And yet you already have a legendary?
Yeah, but they can spawn randomly, so it's not that huge. The thing is, in the game, there's a chance of, I believe, 10% in the first biome for a legendary to spawn. And then it increases by 10% every time you go into a new area without getting one. So at this point, I think in Clock Tower, the chance was like 60% to get one. So it was almost guaranteed even.
Yeah, it's actually quite common to see one legendary in a fresh file run if you explore a lot in the biomes. Like sometimes it spawns, but you just never go to that part of the biome. But like generally, there's always one somewhere.
So here I'm on the final boss of 0 BC. This is the Hand of the King. He's gonna be the final boss for a long time as well, because behind him is a door that you can only access if you reach 5 boss cells. And that's what we're aiming for. But yeah, a legendary balance blade does some very quick work of him and the elites.
That's some good damage.
Yep. That was also a hitless fight. Which, don't get used to that. I'm not actually that good at the game. I got carried by the damage. And that's going to be the first ending of the game that you reach by just beating the first difficulty. You kill the king. He don't want to spoil the cutscene. He explodes.
15:30, not bad for the first.
Yeah, that's actually a really good 0 BC time. It's only a minute behind my PB. So now we're this green blob that is called the homunculus. We're gonna restart here because there's no actual need to walk to the fountain after that. And
yeah,
then we have...
you would go to the fountain to actually finish the game like properly, but we don't need to do that here.
Not here. And now we get this cutscene of the skeleton that was on the left of the beginning of the area. That's the giant. He got added in the Rise of the Giant DLC, which was patch 1.2, so it was a really long time ago. But this is what we're aiming for as well. He opened the door in the prisoner's quarters that we will have to visit on 4 BC. For the sole reason that he has the 5th boss cell. because Rise of the Giant, the DLC, also added the difficulty 5BC. Before that, the final one was 4. Saw the scroll there. Unfortunately, I missed it, so I have to go back.
Yeah, so this is when you actually start wanting to pick up more scrolls, since the difficulty increase makes you need a lot more damage to keep up with the enemy HP, the bosses especially. Like 1BC could still afford to skip a couple of scrolls here and there, but after that you kind of need to pick up everything you can.
Yeah, because at that point it's like the balance is kind of done in a way that you can do 0BC without knowing the game, like without knowing the mechanics of everything yet. Which means that you don't need to pick up all the scrolls to win, you don't need to fully explore and whatever. But on later difficulties, it kind of becomes a requirement to at least get all of the damage bonus options that you can get to finish the game. So here we are back at Promenade. This is the technically the second fastest biome to go through. But first of all, the other biome that should have been faster is the Arboretum. And it is, surprisingly, while it is used in 5BC itself, it is not actually faster on 0 to 5, because you have to go out of your way too much to pick up all the scrolls. Whereas in Promenade, it's very straightforward, even though the actual time it takes to travel from entrance to exit is shorter. Actually collecting everything is not. And here I have a balance blade. That's a normal one. It will perform worse than the legendary.
Yeah, since this is not a time door weapon, usually the time door weapons come upgraded at least to +1 already. Everything that you find in the normal biomes in the shops too, I believe, they're all +0, basically.
Yeah. At least for now.
Yeah. It will change too. Although for now, this run will be the same as Fresh Wild for a while.
Yeah, the first 2 boss cells are going to be this route again because it's the fastest. And also, I routed in a skip of a rune back in the days of when we were going for sub 2 hour time. It doesn't require you to get the ram rune from the ossuary, which is an absolutely terrible biome. It's very slow, it's very long. There shouldn't be a reason to go there ever. And I decided that I don't want to either. That just means I'm losing out on 1 meta upgrade.
I think you only pick up like 3 runes this run, if I remember right.
Yes, 3 runes. Actually 4 technically, if we count them.
Yeah, I guess custom is also there. Yeah.
Custom too, yeah. Okay, I have a surprising amount of scrolls. That's actually a lot for 1BC.
This looks like a really fast start so far.
Yeah, this was really good. So yeah, again, this is random. I have no way of predicting this actually happening. Like, this is not scripted.
Yeah, although we do have some rules for reading certain biomes that we didn't really get into that much because it's quite a lot to explain. So
yeah. In this case, Ramparts has 1 hint. It's a little T-shaped building that you can see. That when you pass it, it indicates that the exit will be underground on the right side.
yeah, so once you pass the little T, the exit is anywhere past that point. You don't know where it is, you just know that it's after it. So the general idea is you go on the top, forward, and if you see the T, then you start going in the the little like gaps in the ground and look for the exit. If you don't see the T, then the exit will just be at the end of the level. It's quite straightforward, but it can be a lot when you find the T early and then the exit ends up being near the end of the level. That happens a lot.
That is true, but that's also the RNG of the game. Sometimes you get a good run, sometimes you don't. And
yeah.
for longer categories like this, it doesn't really matter like that. If you lose like 20 seconds or something, it's not that big of a deal. But for shorter categories like what we will see in Fresh File, it will matter a lot. And it might even be a reason to reset.
All those little time losses are much more of a big deal in Fresh File.
Yeah. Oh, I did not expect a star here, but okay. We take those. Okay. Legendary Sinew Slide. That's probably not worth.
Quite a lot of enemies, though.
Yeah. So these legendaries are protected by enemies. You can only access them if you kill all of the surrounding ones. And in this case, there was a lot of them. So it's really not worth doing that. Even though the item itself was good and would be desirable normally. Now we're back in the clock tower. We didn't explain clock tower, did we?
Yeah, clock tower is a fun one. Oh, look, there's a chest over there. I think you might want to check it out.
No, thank you. That is the bank. The bank is the new biome. I think it got added in update 33 or 32, one of those two. And it's... how do I say this? It's not good. It's really slow. It has a lot of annoying enemies. It has a curse in it as well, which is not necessarily what we want. So it's just not a speedrun-friendly biome, even though it's awesome in casual play.
Well,
I would definitely.
Technically,
so what I'm learning right now is just board hates fun. Confirmed.
Yes, I do.
Curses and banks and all that stuff. You know, fun, really cool stuff. Board's like, nah, that's too slow.
Now that is really lucky right there. That was a very fast key. So Clock Tower works in a way that is not friendly to speedrunners because it's entirely random which tower the key is actually in. Finding the exit is really easy. It's always going to be connected to the highest bridge, so it becomes really consistent. But finding the key is usually a 1 in 3 or a 1 in 2 because sometimes the biome generates 2 towers instead of 3. It's a lot. Usually it's just like random. And ideally you want exactly what Vord got there, which is just a short tower with the key and then going to the exit right away. But that does not happen a lot.
Yeah, it's very rare. It's like a coin flip, but a 1 in 3 chance. So we're back here at the timekeeper. Try not to get hit this time. We will see.
We need at least one legendary ice grenade after all. Yeah, you see how she's already quite a bit tankier this time, even though we still have a balanced blade. We have like the generic Fresh File build, honestly.
Yeah, but that's also because first of all, I don't have a legendary. And also, the other thing is, we're on 1 BC right now, so everything is harder, everything has more stats. But since I got the no-hit, I get a chance at a legendary, which in this case wasn't a good one, unfortunately, so we're not taking it.
I heard Ice Grenade is a really good legendary. What is your opinion on that?
Yeah, it's awesome. Ice Grenade is my favorite item in the game. I love seeing it in legendary doors every time. Now we're back in High Peak Castle. It is in my opinion, this is the best biome in terms of reading. Like, you can do so much just from having the knowledge of how this biome works. It's separated into 2 segments, basically, into 2 paths. And each of them has 3 elite doors that you need to get for the key. And the way to read this is one path always leads to a shop, and the other path always leads to the exit. But it's sometimes really hard to know which is which. And that's where experience comes in, but also just sometimes luck as well. I did not get the heal here. So in this case, I went through the shop and I got a fork of 3 paths, which is kind of unfortunate. It makes it random, so I have no way of knowing where to go after that. If an elite door spawned immediately after the shop, I would have known instantly where the exit is already. So we collected both of these. Now, hopefully I don't get hit by spikes again.
I think we're at 3 right now. I'm not sure.
Maybe. I haven't kept count of it. Let's see. If this is a shop, then I'm on the wrong way. I'm not. This is also another little thing for difficulty. Later boss cells don't have as much healing in between biomes, so in this case I only got 1 flask refill, compared to a full heal and a full flask refill that you would get on 0 BC. So you have to be more considerate with taking hits as well, the further you get, which makes this run really hard too, because you can't afford to get hit on later difficulties nearly as much. But it is also easier to get hit on later difficulties, so that's what makes it a bit of more of a challenge. Oh, I want to get out of that one.
Ah, that was a scary situation. Oh. Okay, it's still a scary situation.
I told you, I can't consistently no-hit this guy. This is a very difficult boss. It's like, it catches new players so easily. Also, everything just takes longer to kill. As you can see, the elite phase didn't go as fast as last time. Keep getting hit by stray bombs. Those are very dangerous. But yeah, this was a...
Shield is really nice for those.
Yeah, this was a fast 1BC. And now, by killing the Hand of the King on 1BC, we get the most important upgrade in the game. This right here on the left, the recycling tubes. They basically make it so your starter equipment gets rolled 4 times. So you have 4 different starting loadouts instead of just 1, which can be very important because you don't always have the luxury of finding the good items somewhere in the biome or somewhere in the doors. So you sometimes just have to take whatever you can get in the tubes, and this just increases the chance of getting something good.
Yeah, one of the biggest game changers is getting an assault shield early on. Well, like that, this. Pretty much. Yeah. that alone will change quite a bit the duration of the run in general. It saves a lot of time.
Yeah, not having an assault shield loses about 3 minutes per run, which is very huge. Okay, I'm trying to find the second scroll. which should be somewhere on this path, hopefully. There it is. Oh yeah, and also every level has a set amount of scrolls. So if you just keep that in mind, you always know how many you need. Twin? Sure. I could have gotten the sinew slicer on the right there as well, but I think a weapon is a bit more important. Also, now heals are way more scarce. Let's see. We're back in Promenade. This is the last time that I run this route. So after that, we get some more variety, thankfully. But the first 3 runs in this category are pretty much the same, if you get lucky.
Are there just like better items in the other biomes, or like why do you change? Why not just keep going?
Because first of all, we need to get to the giant on 4BC. So everything depends on that, because the giant has the 5th boss cell, and we want to unlock it with the least amount of runs needed possible. And so it's just really good to do that now, to get the early biomes out of the way like that. And also, on later biomes, on later boss cells, what you get is a certain mechanic that we will see later, called the scroll fragments. They will appear on 3BC and onwards. And they reward you for going through harder biomes. And yeah, so once you get those, it will be way more beneficial to go to harder biomes to get more damage out of that. Now I'm looking for one more scroll. It can be anywhere underground, which is kind of unfortunate. There's no real way of reading this. So it's probably in this tower right here. Because that would have been... Yeah, there it is. Okay. That's the last thing I wanted from the biome. Now we leave for ramparts. Again. This time I hope we can see the T-shape, so I can actually show it. Because last time we just went past it.
I think we had both types of rampart already, like the no hint and the hint.
Oh yeah, also, the 2BC run is the halfway point of this speed run. So since we're already at we're only at half an hour, even though the run is 2 hours long. That just indicates that the later parts are going to be harder and longer. There it is. This is the T-shape that we're looking for. If you see this, start going underground, basically. That's the rule. There's a scroll, I will go back for that later. And now you just look underground every time.
Yeah, now you just have to hope the exit is here, but it's not always there.
But also, it's a good thing, because I'm at 6 scrolls. I want more for the boss now, because 2BC is really hard.
Yeah, you need a lot for this one.
Yeah, so 2BC is the highest jump in difficulty. The balance between the scrolls you get and the health of the enemies is a bit skewed. Way more so than with other difficulties. So it's you have to get everything on 2BC. There's the exit, but I am not ready. There is still, or at least there should be, one more scroll. If I counted correctly. There it is, yeah. And also, the more you play the game in a speedrun kind of way, the more you also realize where possible spawns are for scrolls. Because they can't spawn literally anywhere. They can be in specific spots. So the more experienced you get, the more you know where to already look.
Yeah, in that sense, it's almost like learning all the different Isaac rooms, because there's a lot of those. Dead Cells also works the same way, where you have a bunch of different rooms that just get randomized. So if you learn the rooms, you can navigate random seeds pretty effectively, even if you don't know the placement of the rooms. Just because you recognize the rooms and you know where things can be in them. Like, the exits are only in certain spots, the scrolls are only in certain spots. That's why it's like random, but it's not 100% random in that sense. Nice fight!
Thank you. A hitless boss fight in the game just means you get this legendary right here. It can be a good one. Let's see if this one... Oh! Okay.
Oh.
This is probably the best legendary of the available starter items. Because Firebrands is extremely strong, and this the legendary affix of it means it applies 2 burn stacks at once, which essentially doubles your damage. There's the key. And again, this is the last time we will see these biomes until 5VC, because on 5VC it becomes the fastest route again, ironically.
Yeah, the 5VC route is pretty interesting though. It takes a little twist to here, at least.
Later on it does, yeah. But the beginning is going to be just like this again, but harder. So here I'm trying to collect scrolls. I need... there's still going to be one more power scroll here. But from here I can't go through, so we'll see. Need to find a way down again. Because there is going to be more rooms here again. Yep. And we're back to the most exciting biome in the game. The 1 in 3 coin flip.
What kind
This
of
time,
coin is that?
Yeah, it's a very interesting coin. This time I have to explore a little more of it, even if I do get the first tower key, because I want scrolls, because it's 2BC at this point, and it's more important to have damage than going through the biomes fast.
Yeah, this is one of the other reasons why 0 to 5 doesn't need to have the fastest biomes everywhere all the time, since you need to explore a lot of them anyway for scrolls. You don't get as much, you don't get hurt as much by having a bad clock tower usually.
Early you do, but on later boss cells it doesn't really matter like that. Couldn't get the grab on that. I tried to do a funny tech called the elevator jump. You basically take the elevator's momentum to jump even higher than usual. It looks really cool when you get it, and looks weird when you don't. If we get more elevators, I'll try again.
I believe in you.
$17 is enough, actually. This is a good scroll count already. If I find the key now, I can leave. And yeah, this is also where the mental game comes in. You have to know how much damage you're doing and when you can leave and when you can't just yet. I will take this. These wolf traps are always nice. They help a lot with making bosses more consistent. You can lock them in place instead of them jumping around or dashing or even teleporting.
Yeah, it's really useful on Timekeeper especially, since she loves to run around a lot.
No elevators. There's one. Okay, I'll try. Let's see. Like that.
Nice.
So what you need to do is jump as soon as the elevator ends, and then you get catapulted upwards even more. Okay. Now let's see, with the legendary firebrand's damage should be fine. I don't think I'm worried. Especially with 18 scrolls, that's going to be good enough for even the Hand of the King at the end.
That was really good damage, yeah.
For 2BC, it's amazing.
Melting.
Yep. See all those burn stacks? That's Firebrand. Because you have, you get 2 burn stacks per throw as well, additionally, because of the legendary affix. So there's a lot of dot involved here. I'm picking up this blueprint for the ice shards. This is why we've been picking up blueprints from Timekeeper specifically and not the other bosses. Because ice shards is a really good unlock that you can have if you need it. That is okay, okay. Double
we
legendary.
We are not beating the allegations of this
We are
one.
not. This is absolutely my favorite weapon in the game. It is so good. You will see why. Also, I'm unlocking the recycling tubes. They were 150 cells. And now I will have that at the beginning every time. I will have like 4 tubes with 2 weapons, a shield, and 2 skills every time. So we have like a really good starter loadout if we get lucky. Unlike normally where you just get 1 ranged weapon, 1 melee weapon, and that's it. Okay. So since I did not see the shop at the beginning, it means I will switch. I will have to switch because this is going to be the wrong path that I'm on. But since the elite appeared instantly here, I will switch on the next elite door, not this one, because this would be faster.
Yeah, Castle has a lot of small decision making like that. Like sometimes, even though you know you have to go somewhere, you stay on the same route on purpose because it will end up being faster.
Oh, it's on the left side. Yeah, sometimes you just don't know where the exit is of these rooms. They're like chunks with exits. They can be up, down, left, right, whatever. You just have to get good at predicting that. Some are more consistent than others, but in this case you just can't predict that. And this goes left, because it's... if I go the other way, it's getting closer to the beginning again. So I want to move away from where I came from in order to find the end of this one path. So now I'm unlocking a random melee weapon for the tubes, and also random starter bow for the tubes.
That's some real cell optimization right there.
Yeah. It was not intentional. Alright, we're getting the 3rd boss cell from this guy. And then afterwards, we're gonna see some new biomes. Finally. what I've worked up for from 0 BC by getting the Vine Rune. Now it finally will be happening.
That is a lot of damage.
This is incredible damage for 2 BC. That's like almost one phase.
Yeah, one phase is already really hard to do with like a cursed sword setup, so this is insane.
Yeah, there it is. Wow.
Yeah, that was amazing. Wow.
That's the beauty of RNG. Sometimes you get this kind of setup, and sometimes the fight takes 3 minutes.
Also the fun little tech there where if you jump at the correct timing, the cell decides to come to you instead of you having to go to the cell.
Yeah, and if you fail the jump, you have a slow walk to it, so it takes even longer and you feel bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we're on 3 VC, and now you will see the tubes to the right of me very soon. This is why we've been saving up all these cells, because we now have this, and unfortunately there's no good loadout. So I will decide to go with this.
I wonder why.
I don't know. Something called to me there. I thought I had a soul shield. This is what happened.
This is what running
there it is.
way too
but I
much
don't want to take it because I don't have the money. I know I can break it. I know I can break it, but the issue is it will curse me. And it's a bit unnecessary to get cursed if you don't have a good way of dealing with it right now, because at the moment I don't have a good weapon. Or, well, I do, but it's not extremely good.
Yeah, it is still not upgraded after all, so...
Yeah. So now, new biome, toxic sewers. This is why we picked up the Vine Rune earlier on 0 BC. Because now we're going to pick up the next ability, which is the teleport rune. I'm going to upgrade this, just to have a little bit more damage at the elite. But yeah, we're going to see... We're also going to see a new boss very soon. One that we didn't visit just yet, because Concierge is the better choice most of the time, because he's very easy and very squishy as well. The next one, not so much. Oh yeah, and here's where scroll fragments appear. The way this works is you collect 4 of them and get a scroll. And the harder the biome is, at least according to the devs, they made the rules. The harder the biome is, the more you get. So it's more rewarding to go through higher challenges. This is an elite I wanted to avoid the trigger, but it should be fine. I don't think he's following me.
Oh, he's definitely following
He is right here.
Got some friends for the journey.
Yep. But it's okay. The toxic sewers have nothing on me. This is the wrong path.
This is the wrong path, yep.
Down there, yeah.
Yeah, so Toxic Sewers also has like some of these the ways to read the map to kind of know if you're going the right way. In this case, it's seeing that double item room means that you're on the ramparts path usually, and that's where we want to be.
Legendary? What is it? Oh!
Oh!
That is interesting.
We talked about damage earlier. We're about to see some damage.
This is one item that is at the top of every tier list. Everyone likes this item. It's incredible. It has a lot of damage, a high range, there's basically nothing bad about it at all. Creates like an electricity field around the turret. Oops, I parried into the wrong direction there.
Yeah, this is also the beauty of the legendaries that you find in biomes, specifically since normally the legendaries in the boss doors are from your unlocked item pool, but the ones you find in the biomes can be literally anything, whether it's locked or not. That's why we're seeing the Tesla coil right now, which we're not even close to unlocking, I think.
We won't even get it.
Yeah, we won't get it, but I don't think we would get it easily anyway. So
I want this food.
Food that was sitting in that toxic bath. Are you sure?
Yeah, absolutely. It's worth. On 3BC, you don't get healing as much. You get 2 flasks in total across the whole run, 2 refills.
Yeah, food is really good.
Take it or leave it. This is also why I was focusing more and more not to get hit by anything. So I was going backwards, parrying, killing stuff. Because it's now more and more important to just not take any form of damage. And there's the second ability, Teleport Room. It will allow me to use these sarcophagi on the left side here to teleport back and forth with. This is going to be used to access a 5BC biome.
Ooh, who cares?
That's the first one.
Getting all the spice in this run so far.
That is the first curse that appeared in the run, I think, so I think it needs some explaining because it's a very funny mechanic that's kind of unique to this game.
Yeah, so if you... Oh, okay.
Too late.
Well, a bit late for that. But yeah, if you take a curse in this game, then you will see that number appear above your head. In this case, we have 10 with a skull next to us. What that basically means is that you have to kill that many enemies to lift the curse. And while you're cursed, you die in one hit. Even if you have YOLO, it will not trigger and save your life. You will just die.
Yeah, and this is what makes this run really difficult because on 5BC, there is a guaranteed curse pretty much 10 minutes before the end.
Yeah.
And it's very nerve-wracking, especially if you're on a PB pace.
The curse
and
that
right
Board
now,
got just now was a 10% chance to trigger, so it's not guaranteed. Like, they will appear sometimes, but they're not that common. Oh, this is nice. Nice room to clear the curse.
Kind of. Is it dead? Yes, okay.
Oh, there is one more bird. That cheating I just saw.
No. But there's the clear. Now I get all the balance plates after pivoting to something else. Because I wasn't getting them.
That's the nature of the game right there.
Yep. But now I've committed, so I have to stay here on tactics. The nature of the colors in general in this game is very interesting because you have, on one hand, which is what I was using a lot, brutality. What it means is basically it's the archetype of weapons. It focuses on melee attacks, fast slashes, and stuff like that. Whereas Tactics focuses on ranged weapons mostly, and staying safe from hits, which also means we're less tanky. So it's a bit more risky, but you also just get a tiny bit more damage potential.
For everyone that is just joining us here, this is the Dead Cells Community Showcase here on GDQ Hotfix. We have 3 incredible runs today. This one, of course, being the 0 to 5 BC with Vord. Very excited to be to be here hanging out with you. Exclamation point Dead Cells in the chat if you're interested in the in the new update 35.
And yeah, well, this is on update 34. I actually will be playing on update 35 for my run. For a bit of a silly reason, though.
Yeah. You will see when we get there, because you don't want to miss that. It's a very goofy thing.
It is really goofy.
But it made it optimal to run on latest patch. So what's my amulet? Okay. For some reason, I'm missing one scroll.
I think there was a star somewhere early on.
In the bio?
That's what chat is telling us too.
Really? Okay. I'm surprised. Let's see. Normally, if I miss something like that, they're on the rooftops. But not in this case. But I don't see a star. I might as well just leave, honestly, because it's like... Otherwise it wastes a bit too much time, and I only am gonna be missing one scroll, which is not the end of the world. It can be...
Oh, never mind. I think we actually got baited by chat. It was the chicken, not the...
Yeah, no.
not
I did not need the chicken, yeah. Okay, new boss. Insufferable Crypt. Conjunctivious is the name. She's a big eyeball with tentacles. And she's
Very
flying.
nice.
Yep.
Oh,
We get
this
the-
looks good for
nope.
the bait. Never mind.
Nope. She doesn't like going into the traps. It is very nice when you do get that. Like in this case. She's gonna do the red attack. Yep. Okay. This is very good damage, mainly because of the Tesla coil and the wolf trap that I got from the curse. Can I get it now? Yes. Okay. Awesome.
That looks a little high though. I don't think you're getting the second one.
Yeah, but that basically gives me instant access to the next phase, which is really nice.
Yeah.
I got hit there. Unfortunate. I rolled a
No
bit
ice
too late.
grenade.
But yeah, this boss is a little more complex than Concierge. But not by that much, because we're still in the introductory bosses.
What do you say is the most complex boss this run then?
The final boss. The one we will see on 5BC is definitely the most complicated one. Because there's a lot to watch out for. It's incredibly dangerous as well, because especially if you're low on health, you could just get blasted by a lot of things. For those unaware, there will be, on 5BC, there will be a secret boss that is only available there. And to some more casual players who might not be on that difficulty, it might be a spoiler. So yeah. Because it is not just like a new boss or whatever, it is something and for someone that we know in the game. So there's lore reasons for that. I'm not a lore person, I'm speedrunning.
Yeah, we want to avoid all the lore. In fact, we even have it turned off.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, there's the curse. This
I
one
want
is
to first
guaranteed.
see if this is the right way. No, it's not. Okay. There's the ice grenade.
Board's favorite item.
Let's see.
This is a much scarier curse than the one we had in sewers.
Yep.
Although it is nicer to clear it before actually awakening the biome, which will happen when we hit the switch later on.
That is true, but I'm not clearing it before that.
Ah. Almost, yeah.
This one's gonna die. Yep. Now I have 2 left, and then...
Oh, you're 1 kill off me. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. But it's fine. So now we have, we get the spider room, which is the last big meta upgrade we will get. And it allows us to open a whole new can of worms of movement while running. There's a lot you can do with that. It's okay, I know this. I know this layout. Okay,
we
and
love
now
those iframes.
we just clear the curse. And also, preferably avoid triggering this guy, but unfortunately, it did not happen because he was right on the way there. But it's okay, because we have a lot of options to lock him down right now. But with worse RNG, I would have had way more trouble.
Yeah, the golems are not great for speedrunning since they will teleport you if you try to run away from them. They just bring you back next to them.
Yep. Like... Oh, wow.
Oh my god. This is also not a great enemy for speedrunning.
No, but it's okay, because...
Well, the golem saved you. Oh.
I was anticipating the teleport there because I was changing platforms.
Finally on the salt shield too.
It's a bit late for that, but sure.
Yeah.
But now I want to go there because I want to pick up more scrolls. While also preferably not alerting this golem right there. When they're in water, E-Whip is very nice because it crits in water because of electricity. This is a regular chest. There is maybe something I can get out of this, like a new E-Whip. But since we got the scroll from this area, I can leave towards the clock tower again. And now, since I have the spider room, the ability to wall run, clock tower is going to become very different. You will see in a minute. There's the bank again, I will ignore it, as always. But yeah, clock tower with the spider room is very special. You can do this, for example, immediately at the beginning. And you have no need for these ladders anymore. So the tech I'm doing here for faster climbing is I'm using my attack button as well. So I'm using attack, climb to cancel the animation basically. And that allows me for this very, very fast climb that I can do if I do it right. So here, since we're on 3BC, my par for scrolls is around 20 to 21. I would prefer more. But this is like the bare minimum for me to leave the biome. Okay, I do have a chicken in the level, just in case I will need it. It's a 50% heal, which is very important. Later on later boss cells, you will rely on food way more.
Yeah, chicken is your best friend in later BCs.
That is true. And this is also a Castlevania reference, because the diet name is Castlevania-esque. If you select wall chickens and the cakes.
The best diet, honestly.
I disagree. I think the best diet is clearly cheese.
I was expecting you to say it was the fruits.
It is the fruits for me, technically, because I can see them better, but cheese is cooler as well. Cheese is like really tasty, obviously.
You guys are making me hungry. Not cool.
Okay, then how about we talk about the other diet option, which is Monster.
Oh god.
Because the food drops are then guts and eyeballs.
Mmm, tasty.
Yep, that's way better. I did not need the chicken because we will get the another flask here. And that is the last flask refill we will ever see. After that, it's impossible to recover in between biomes. And the only way of healing becomes food. Damage is fine because of good setup with the Tesla coil and the wolf trap.
Yeah.
See if we can get... Yeah, okay, I got the trap. Nice. Now, after the phase switch, she will be in melee mode, so I will go back to lure her into the trap. And again. Ah, never mind, she teleported away, but it's okay.
Nice.
Not the firebrands, the scroll fragment. Thank you. Another chance at a good legendary. Can I get a weapon this time?
Ice
a weapon, please, 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 please. Nope.
Aw. Ice Grenade is a well-known legendary in the speedrunning community. It likes to show up a lot, usually.
It always likes to show up when you don't need it. When you need a weapon or any kind of skill the most, the Ice Grenade will show up. No, never fails. Okay, this is a troll shop, which means the first shop appeared before any divergent path, which means there's no way of telling where the exit will be. So it boils down to RNG again.
But Vord, I thought you liked the ice grenade.
Yeah, I do. I really do. It's my best friend.
Definitely.
These guys can hit you out of anything. Ah. Okay, this time I'm going past this elite door because I want to see the end first. That's like a very common strategy for these kinds of shops, for the beginning troll shops. So you have to look at what the exit is first, and then you decide to switch on the last door or stay on it.
Yeah, it's much faster to get to the other side if you go through those elite doors than if you actually walk there.
Most of the time,
the preferred method, usually.
Unless you get some super rare layout that is really bad to go through.
They are also usually in order, so this green door was the last door on one of the paths, it's also the last door on the other path, so that helps a bit.
Yeah. So in this case, the exit was right next to the green door. Okay, let's see how the damage holds up. I hope Wolf Trap can carry here. Because the E-Whip is like, I think I got it from sewers, so it's a very early weapon. Yeah, the damage is not good. This is gonna be a bit of a longer fight, probably. We will see.
Yeah, the E-whip is probably your weakest item right now.
It is, certainly. If I went Brutality and had gotten the balance plate from that time door earlier, this would have been looking very different.
Yeah.
Come on, waiting for this guy to get in here.
Balance Blade was already one of the strongest items in Fresh File runs, but the later updates made it even stronger.
Yeah. Ah, got hit. Not a hitless fight anymore. Okay. Ah, I didn't get the hype there, but it's okay. Okay, that was the third boss cell. Got the jump, that's nice. And now we will go to, again, an entirely different area and boss. Now,
Really fun area coming up.
a really fun area. Casually, my second favorite area in the game. But in speedruns,
It's a really
oh boy.
cool area for sure.
In speedruns, you don't want to be there. It's the scariest one by far. If you remember, on 1BC we had this cutscene where something roared and broke through something. And in this case, what we have, we will go through the door that he opened, which is this right here, and we see he's disappearing into the lava. This is the Giant. The DLC is called Rise of the Giant. He rose from the dead. And we have to go and get him. Because he has the 5th boss cell, which is going to be the... Oh, well, obviously we need that for progression, but also it's just a really cool boss. I think the Giant is my favorite boss in the game. It's the most fair, definitely, at least. It's like the least BS attacks out of all the other bosses, at least.
Yeah, Board. I'm just curious here because I know that I have not been able to beat 0 BC, and I know that you're flying through this. You're on 3 BC right now, right?
I'm on 4, yeah.
4 BC. I'm behind. 4 BC right now. What's like your advice for players that are just trying to beat 0? Like they're trying to beat their first get their first boss cell.
I think the most important thing is know how scrolls work. Like, the scroll system is not very complex, but it's not told to new players either. Like, there's no tutorial for it or whatever. What you want to do is focus on one stat, if you can. Because, again, the damage is exponential, the damage bonus that you get. So, the more scrolls you get, the more powerful you become. And it is very important to have a main stat to get through the game, because eventually you get damage bonuses worth thousands of percentages, for example. That is like the main thing. And then if you want to learn mechanics, obviously there's the training room as well that they added somewhat recently, I think like 1.5 years ago, something like that, where you can just repeatedly fight bosses until you get good at them. I would suggest go through every boss maybe 2 times until you can hitlist them, or like have a hitless boss 2 times in a row or something if you can. And then you're definitely going to be all set for at least 0 BC. And since the difficulty jumps from 0 to 1 BC aren't that drastic, you will definitely you will do well on everything until probably 3 BC, where you need to go into like build theory as well. Like, you have to know how to build your weapons and skills at that point. There's a lot of guides on YouTube for that as well. Especially, also, I would like to this might be a bit of a self-plug here, but I have made a lot of build videos on YouTube for this game as well. Like just showing like underrated items or funny combos that you can use.
Yeah, you should definitely check out Ward's YouTube channel for that. That's a good idea. I'd say also like flip-flop here. You know, okay, you're on 4 BC, you're trying to beat 5. When you're at that point, what is it? Just get good, or is it like, are there things that people are missing for 5 BC?
I think if you grasp the what's the word for that? The basics. If you grasp the basics, it's only a matter of learning enemy behavior and especially boss behavior, because those are going to be your roadblocks. But the good thing is also, once you get past a certain skill threshold, I guess, like if you've beaten 5 BC like maybe 5 to 10 times, the bosses become the most consistent part of the run. Because at that point, they are no longer random, because you're used to their moves, you're used to whatever they do. But biomes, they stay randomized, because unless you play like a set seed, you just have no way of predicting everything. So that's going to be your main leverage then, is to learn enemy behavior as well. So now we're going to collect all the scrolls again, while trying to avoid most enemies. If there's one dangerous enemy near me, I usually try to kill it at this point, because 4 BC, the difficulty jump of 4 BC is enemies will now start teleporting to you. If you're fast enough, you can outrun them. But if I aggro someone and they chase me, like this guy, for example, he teleports to my platform and so on. Every enemy is doing that now. Almost every enemy. And this will make for some very chaotic scenes, especially later. I got stunned there. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, this is way more chaotic than, say, 0 BC or 1, as you can see already. So at this point, you just have to know what the enemies do, and how fast they are, and how fast they teleport to you as well. So you can abuse the teleport mechanic as well with that. There's a star there, so I will go there, and hopefully get a scroll. See if that's what it was. Nice. I'm at 12. This means there's still one more fragment. I think it might be here. Nope, it was not. Fragments are a little more random in terms of their position. So unlike scrolls, you can't exactly know where they are. So let's see if I find one at the end here. There it is, perfect. And now I can leave for Conjunctivius again, to then follow the giant to his lair where he's hiding. So here, since I have enough cells, I will unlock the third flask, because I need it. Ideally, you probably would finish this run if you really want to like optimize every single second. You probably don't want to unlock the third flask either. But you just have to be way better at the game to survive with 2. And that is something that, so far, I don't think anyone has gotten a good run with like that. I will go away here to not get hit, because the attack continues, even if I even if she's in the trap. Let's see if I can keep the crits going throughout all of this. Maybe they drop here. Nope, I got him. Okay, nice.
Not surprising. Wow.
Okay, this is good. I will go back here to not get hit. Because again, the attack continues.
That's a nice setup. Yeah.
And now I think she might even die during the tentacle phase. Because the more I kill, as you can see, she loses health. I did get hit there, but it's okay.
No
I have
hit.
a decent setup. I have a decent setup already, so it's not that big of a deal. But no, she does not die from the tentacle phase. Just yet.
She is basically dead though.
Yeah. And I get the bait again. So this was a very lucky fight. Where's the other fragment? Up there. And now we go to another new biome that is unlocked by me grabbing the spider rune earlier, the graveyard. So since there was no-hit, I don't get the legendary door, but I can look at this. And I can get an upgrade to my sinew slicer. I don't want to use the twin daggers. Not on the giant, because they don't hit him well. And you will see why.
Is really strong.
Yeah, that is true. Although I think this is still my starter balance blade, so if possible, I would like to have a replacement.
Yeah.
That's the key. So this is what we need in Graveyard to also access the inner part of the biome. The Graveyard is consisting of two parts. One overground and then the underground as well, which we will get to with the key. That is a legendary nutcracker. I don't have a use for this.
Yeah, nutcracker on giant and not the best choice.
Nope, definitely not. It works on so the nutcracker is a weapon that has critical hits on stun, rooted, and frozen enemies, and the giant is immune to all of those.
Yeah, something like that.
And now we're in the underground section because we opened it up with the key. And the only thing left is to first of all, get all the scrolls in the level, and then also find the exit to the cavern, which is going to be the most dreaded biome for sure for this type of run. It can be behind that behind the teleport there, but I will check out this first, and it was a mistake.
You think cavern's the hardest biome in this one?
Yes.
I would say it
absolutely.
Is, right? Yeah.
It looks like it's up there.
It's honestly also one of the harder biomes casually.
That is true, but casually you can take your time. Here,
yeah,
not so much. I will actually, before we go, I will pay a visit to a specific door. I can't, never mind. It's hidden.
It's down there.
Yeah, it's hidden behind a rune that I can't use because that's the one I skipped, which is kind of unfortunate, but sometimes it spawns before that. So now I just have to leave without going there, which is a bit of a shame. It makes the run a bit safer to go there. But now I'll just have to deal with Cavern. Hopefully I'll do well, but you will see that it will be a little more chaotic than all the previous biomes combined. So this biome has demons. They follow me, they shoot fireballs at me. They're not fun to deal with. And those blue birds, they are everyone's least favorite enemy, potentially. I don't think I know anyone who likes them.
Yeah, and they also follow you.
They also follow me.
Great enemy.
As you can see, good biome right here. I just get followed by birds, by demons,
a lot
by
of
everything.
bird friends right now.
And the good thing about demons is that you can outrun them, because they don't teleport to you, they actually just have their fly speed. But once they get you, they are relentless. They shoot stuff at you, they don't do anything good. Okay. I will keep my eye out for a weapon shop, so I can maybe get a good weapon. Scroll-wise, I'm doing okay. Could have like 1 or 2 more. That's another skill shop. That means the next shop has to be a weapon shop. But yeah, see, all these demons following me, they're having a party right there. And I will add even more.
Oh my god.
Yep. So this is the exit, so I'll go left here, because the weapon shop might be there. And soon enough, all the demons will catch up to me. Never mind, it was not here.
A lot of friends with you right now.
Where else? Oh, I guess this still continues. I guess this is not the exit yet. No. There's a star. I will...
Oh my god.
I will refuse. I have enough scrolls.
That's one of the worst enemies to kill for a star.
That is very true. And yeah, the party is here. That was a really good elevator jump right there. This is basically what happens when you do it perfectly.
That also has a lot of swag movement tech like that.
Yeah, for sure. And that is an upgraded balance plate. There we go. There's this. Oh, that was the guy who died. I see. So he somehow died off screen, apparently. But I don't think it's worth going back for that.
Too bad the friends can't go with you.
Yeah. That will make the boss fight miserable, though. So I will upgrade and reroll just to get something good, maybe. But I did not. And now we're gonna see the final boss of 4BC, the giant. He has the 5th cell, he's gonna drop it when I kill him. He's very cool. I like this design. You have to kill both hands, or you have to kill one hand to expose his eye. And then the eye is the actual boss health. That's the mechanic. And the hands have like unique attacks every time. It's very cool. Do I keep my combo? Yes, I do.
That's a big combo right there.
There we go.
Almost made it to 100.
Yeah, I think it was like 95 or something.
Yeah. Not quite there.
Nope, but here it is, the 5th boss cell. So we're gonna be on the final difficulty right about now. I will take this blueprint. It's called the Giant Killer. It's a very cool weapon. It does what it says on the tin. It kills giants. I will take it, and I will, first of all, invest into this. And then, since I'm there, I turn the blueprint in already. automatically just by being in the transition room. I will have the option of unlocking it on 5vc, just if I don't have a weapon by the time I reach a boss, which can happen if I'm very unlucky. And then I just unlock the giant killer. I will take the brand start. Okay, we are on the final difficulty. This is
yeah, you're doing good right now. You have a whole hour.
I'm gonna go brutality because it's better in every single aspect, at least on this patch.
If you're all just joining us here, this is the Dead Cells Community Showcase here on GDQ Hotfix. We got this is the final difficulty level of 0 to 5 BC with Vord. After that, we have the new game, or no, sorry, new file any percent with Tenra, and then we are wrapping up the day with V.me playing the boss rush mode. So Vord, are you just in like mega focus mode right now? Is that the bit?
Yes, because it's a very difficult difficulty. Because it is it's the last one, and you wanna like conserve every single health potion or gold piece or whatever. So it's like during biomes, it's very difficult to think about what you're doing. It's like I have to work on what I'm used to at this point, which is like kind of instinct in a way. Like if I feel something is right, I have to do it. It doesn't matter. Like there's no time to relax.
Prepping for? Because yeah, what are big things that you can prep for here? You just going through?
I am going through, yeah, because this is going to be the standard route mostly again, except with a little twist later. And the idea is to collect a full loadout of weapons and skills, obviously, for the final boss. Preferably, though, before any boss, really, because otherwise the fights themselves are going to be really bad. And also to have some form of damage by collecting enough scrolls. 0 to 5 is optimized in a way that requires you, on 5BC, it requires you to get every single scroll fragment, everything that you need to not lose out on damage and time. So even if I will, let's say I will lose like maybe not 1 minute, but let's say like 30 seconds to get a scroll, it will be worth it. If I see one on the map, I will have to get it. Otherwise, I will lose an insane amount of time on bosses. Because since I told you before about scroll fragments, the idea is that more challenging biomes reward you with more fragments. And in this case, we're going the easier path to get less scroll fragments, but it's just faster. And that's the idea. That's why I have to like take everything. And since this is also the hardest difficulty in the game, at least without mods, because there are some mods that make it even harder, which I wouldn't recommend because the game is extremely challenging, but also balanced. And the mods throw that balance out of the way entirely, just for the sake of having difficulty. But it's balanced very well. It's very fair. But as you can see, it's very chaotic as well if you're trying to speedrun it. Okay, I got a wolf trap. That's nice. I will keep the firebrands for the boss unless I get something like a legendary in the biome, which I can't really rely on, but it is what it is. If I get something good, I'll take it. And then, let's see, and then I might, if I don't get something by the giant, by the time I reach the giant, I will have to unlock the giant killer, which should not happen. It's like it's a backup option for like really bad RNG. But it is still a very respectable weapon by itself. It's just nowhere near as good as the options that I normally have. It's like I really just get it for in the case of the worst possible scenario. And in normal runs, if I'm like going for a PB or a world record, I just don't get it because it loses like 15 seconds to get it, 15 seconds to turn the blueprint in. And I don't want to take that time loss, even though it's like a 2-hour category still. So here, since my amulet has 1, I want to end up at 11 scrolls, 11 red, before the first boss. That is exactly what I need, the amount, if I get everything. I can get lucky and also get a on-color dual scroll, but again, I can't rely on that because the chance of that happening is like 9%. That's a legend. Oh! Okay, we're back. The first run had it, and now the last one has it too. That's amazing.
RNG are nice to us this run, at least.
Yep, I brought it back. The legendary balance blade. We've all come to like. But it doesn't mean it's over, because the hardest part is yet to come. That is, oh my god.
Oh my god.
No. Nope. That is, oh my god. I've never seen this on a 0 to 5 run. Legendary Cursed Sword. The Cursed Sword is, if you're unaware, it's the most powerful item in the game. But you're one hit every time. So
yeah, remember the curse from earlier? It's death, but you can't get rid of it.
Permanently. So I am gonna skillfully ignore it. Even though it would save a lot of time if you were to play it perfectly, but it's really not worth doing that in a 2-hour run. Unless you want to just flex. And then just die to a random enemy or something.
The danger.
The random enemy being spikes, probably.
Nah, no way.
Alright, first boss of level 5.
Yep, it is the concierge again. I don't do enough damage. I don't do a lot of damage, as you can see, but combo is definitely compensating for that. As you can see, I'm already having a multiplier of 3 times the damage that I originally did. And now it resets, because I took a bit too long to keep attacking. But it's fine, this is not
one
bad.
of the recent additions that actually made a lot of categories switch to more recent patches, because it's just that strong.
Yep, it is incredible. The more you attack, the more damage you do, unless you drop your combo. And if you do drop your combo, it doesn't even really take that long to rebuild it. So it is still an incredibly strong mutation. Okay. We are in Stilt again, but this time we are not going to the clock tower, but again to a new biome. One that's it is available earlier too, like you don't have to be on 5BC for it. It's just slower to go there earlier. But it is also a very dangerous biome. It can kill your run in one hit. if you don't watch out. Because there is a curse with a potential of a second curse. There's a 10% chance to get 2 curses in the biome, which means I will have to kill 20 enemies without getting hit, of course. But since, I mean, sometimes I'm doing that casually too, where I'm getting hit, where I'm not getting hit and getting 20 kills. But the nerfs on a curse are very different. It feels different to have a curse and kill 20 enemies versus not having one. It's like the difference is pretty much only mentally.
Yeah, that's a big mental game, though.
16, that means I can leave? Yes, okay.
And now the route changes a little bit from what you saw in the first runs.
Yeah, in 3BC, I picked up the teleport room, which allowed me to access this biome, the Forgotten Sepulchre. It has a very interesting mechanic that isn't a problem when you're speedrunning, because you're going through it fast anyways. But if you're not speedrunning, it can definitely mess you up very quickly.
Yeah, I remember being super scared of this biome casually, and then I really liked it after speedrunning.
It is really cool. It's one of the few biomes that have like a very unique mechanic. As you can see, it's dark. And it is getting darker, but the teleports have lights. So if you stay out of the light for too long, you will take damage and eventually die. Which means you have to go fast. There's the first curse. Potentially there's 2 again, as I said. So we will have to see. There we go, that's clear.
Not scary at all.
Nope, but you have to do this. It is unfortunate, but you have to do it like that. You can't take it slow in this biome at all, because again, there's the darkness, and also the enemies all teleport to you. They don't leave you alone, they don't let you rest anywhere, and there's a ton of them. And then there's dead ends like this, which mean you have to go back and find a light in time. There's one. There's like, I like to call this biome a maze. It's very much like a maze. You don't know where you're going, ever, pretty much. There's enemies in this room, okay. I'll have to note that down. I will also, there's one thing I need to do because I didn't get anything good out of the doors. I will need to kill an elite in this biome, at least one. Because the idea is, so elites drop amulets, I slid into the spikes for some reason.
The
that does happen sometimes. But yeah, they drop amulets, and amulets have scrolls on them. And if I get a good scroll amulet, that means I just get a huge boost in stats. And that can be important if I get lucky. That's a spider lock. I don't want to be there. That is the door. Okay, that's the second door. Same idea as in Castle, by the way. There's 2 doors, there's 2 keys. You have to get both of them in this case. There's no way to skip any of that. Whereas in Castle, in Castle there's 3 and you can skip one of them. So that's the tiny difference. I will go back for this because there's not only food but also an off staff. And for some reason I have a lot of survival but not tactics. that's not evened out properly.
Yeah,
How
if
much-
you even it out more, then you actually get more health out of it. So
Yeah,
it's a
but
good
the
idea.
amulet refused to give me that. And then, where's this? I'll go back to this one, actually. Because this is an elite room, a guaranteed elite fight. He doesn't drop anything. But, okay, he gave me 1 additional red, so that's worth. Okay, so this is going to be the exit very soon. I don't want to go in there. There's the clock room. That would be Timekeeper, but we're not going to visit her. There's this door that only opens at 2 BC plus, and it leads to the giant. But in order for this door to exist, you need to have been to giant in the first place. So we went there on 4 BC to unlock this path for 5. And the reason for that is going to be, once we beat the giant, you will see what I mean, because there is a very important reason for that, why we decided to go here instead of Timekeeper. I lost the combo, but I kept my crits, that's more important. That's face transition. I should be able to kill, yep.
Very nice fight.
Nice fight. Got 4 fragments. Now, we just went past the exit to castle. This will lead us directly to the throne room, to the Hand of the King. Now, he is not the final boss, though. Not in this difficulty.
No ice grenade, unfortunate.
Nope. I still have 1 more chance if I no-hit the Hand of the King.
We need that ice grenade. No
We'll
pressure.
see,
though.
we'll see. I'll try. I do have nice damage, I think.
Yeah, combo balance blade is always nice damage. Just might take a while to build up.
Yeah, and I don't think I have synergies on my blade. So it makes it a little bit harder to do damage, but it should be okay. Now the combo will reset, unfortunately, because of the elite phase. But as long as I can keep the crits, it's fine. Bit of an unfortunate RNG, but we got the no-hit. That's nice.
Well done. So last legendary of the run. Well, unless
What
we
could it
find
be?
one in the next biome, but
Yep. And now we're in the 5 BC exclusive area.
this is spoiler territory.
There it is!
Oh, there it is!
Oh my god. You couldn't script a better... you couldn't do a
better
better
ending.
script. Yeah.
Yeah.
And reminder to everybody, this is random, not preset seed.
It is random, exactly. That's why it makes it so... It makes it so much better. These book guys, they're doing this. They float above you, they shoot a laser 3 times until they reset. They're flight, but they are very annoying if you have to deal with one of them, and not just one of them, but multiple even. Let's see. How do I recover this? Nope, I don't recover this. That is okay.
Yeah, we have a bit of a safety thing.
We have a safety net for marathons. This is not allowed in runs, actually, because if you die, you die. You have to restart from the beginning. But for marathons, just so I don't waste like 20 minutes or more, I just have this set up. It's like having a safe state, I guess. Or a safe file, just in case something goes wrong.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of the backup save file, but a bit better since it actually stays the same run.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Nope, never mind. Okay, yeah.
Terrible.
I need to be a bit more careful in this biome, that's the problem.
You're doing great. You got this.
Yep.
Yeah, librarians are the worst enemy in this biome by far.
Yeah.
Probably the worst enemy in this run in general, honestly.
Definitely. This is also just the most difficult part of the run in general. And you're like 1 hour 50 in, and the nerves get to you if you're on a good pace, for example. So it's like you get the hardest biome in the game at the hardest time that you could get it. So things can either go really well or just fall apart instantly if you trigger too many enemies. So I have to be a tiny bit more careful with this time. Sometimes you can breeze through that though. It's just really depends on what you get. Oops, yeah, never mind. Okay, this is a really bad biome, actually. Like, sometimes you get a good layout, and in this case, the enemies are randomly placed. So things can go really bad. That is very unfortunate. I wish I could have had a deathless run, but it's okay.
Going that long without seeing an elite door is kind of unfortunate.
That is also true. That's good. This is a food shop. There's the elite door, nice.
Yeah, the elite door was just right below the entrance the entire time.
Yep, it's right under our nose. Okay, here I want to go.
Yeah, a really good demonstration of why this run is really hard.
And yeah, this is the way you can cheese them, by just walking into the wall. Because they predict your movement. That's where they want to aim the laser. And since they're directly underneath it, you can just run against the wall and they will think that you're going, but you're not actually. I want to be a bit more careful in this area, because I remember this now from the attempts before. Oh, this is very interesting, because this is already the end.
Yeah, you still need one more key, so this is a bit early to be here.
That is true. But we're okay. Come on, get over here. Thank you. They do like one lap around you before they start shooting again, and that's where you can get them. Unless you do this, I guess. I'm gonna take a heal. But yeah, this is the entrance to the level. Now if we go back... Actually, I don't think I can go back up from there. So I'll need to go here and just go around. There we go. As long as the librarian gets out of the way, everything's fine. The rest is not as hard to deal with. There's the second key. Now we can... Oops, wrong one. Now we can start going up the tower. I think this guy triggered? Maybe not.
We're almost there.
This is bad RNG. This is a bad layout for the fast climb. There's a way to do fast climbs in this, but sometimes the layout just doesn't allow for it, and then you get stuck with a whole bunch of enemies. But in this case, it was fine. At least the second half.
They really don't hold back here, do they?
Nope. This is the final biome, the final build-up to the last boss. It's incredibly difficult going through this. Even casually, it's like quite possibly the hardest part of the game if you're like new to 5BC, because you're not used to it. You're used to the other biomes because you've been there like 50 times maybe on your way to there. I will see if I can get something. Lead synergy?
Works.
Nothing here. That's okay.
Better than nothing, at least. Yeah.
Final boss? Final boss.
Big spoiler ahead.
Big spoiler ahead. There he is. It's the guy we've been giving all the cells to all along. It's made him stronger. This is like the ultimate test for your abilities. You see that his health is not terrible, right? It doesn't... it ticks down quite normally. I'm gonna heal here. It ticks down quite normally, right? He teleports, that's... he has 4 different rooms that he can teleport you to, each with their own unique mechanics. But yeah, right as soon as you think he's dead, he drinks. He's cheating. Then he teleports you to the next room, and his damage reduction is higher. So he takes less damage from your attacks. Period.
I mean, he was selling you those potions. Of course he would have some for himself.
Okay, next one. That's the second drink. He does that a lot. He likes to drink his flask. That's the next enemy phase. And now you can see I'm not really doing much damage right now. It's not going too well. And he has the librarian attacks. Okay, third flask. I'm doing chip damage. Gonna wait here. Ah, down. Okay.
Aw, unfortunate.
I got locked into the animation of the weapon. It's okay, we can retry. Hopefully for a better
really
fight
close.
now.
Let's get some hype in the chat for Vord. Final boss, Dead Cells 5 BC.
This really is chip damage though.
Yep.
That's why you really need all of those stats from 5PC. Even this legendary balance blade, wolf trap, and everything else isn't doing a lot of damage here.
Everything goes right in terms of stats, in terms of weapon, and yet this fight takes that long still. That's why it's the final boss. It's the ultimate test. How well can you dodge? How apparently not well, if you ask me. But
You got this.
there's the librarian attack again. I want to lure him into the trap that way.
Getting those laser attacks when you're already on low HP and close to the end is really scary.
Yeah, anything can go wrong. If you mistime a roll, you're basically dead.
Soul Shield is also really strong in this fight since you can actually interrupt his attacks like that. It's not easy to pull off though. Vord is
really
making
isn't.
it look way easier than it is.
This one is the easiest to interrupt, but the slam is really hard. The hardest thing to interrupt is this attack. If you react to it fast enough, you can do it, but I've never had it in... I think I did it like once in actual attempts, ever.
Yeah, and it would be the best one to interrupt too, since this one just wastes your time.
There it was again with the animation lock.
Oh my god. Those lasers are making me nervous and I'm not the one running. Oh god.
Ah, crap.
We're so close.
If something goes wrong, everything goes wrong. That's the motto of the boss, really. If I can get it now, it will be nice. I'll just have to play it a bit safer. And then it will take I don't know, a tiny bit longer. But at least I can focus on dodging better instead of like interrupting. Because interrupting is like, takes a lot of your focus.
Yeah, interrupting is one of those high risk, high reward strats in this game.
Oh, interesting. I'll take this moment. It's an early hit again, unfortunately. It's one down. If I can get bleed on him, he takes more damage because I have that on my balance blade. Okay, that's the second drink. Oh, the ball.
Spike ball.
Okay, hopefully... Okay, nice. The sinew slicer does not get destroyed immediately by the bomb, thankfully. Okay, last flask. That. Man, I am not good at this fight anymore, it seems. That's okay.
This is just also a really bad loadout right now.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's just a bit disappointing.
Yeah, it's the nature of roguelikes, unfortunately. It's alright, you got the streamer.
Really? Okay. If only I could keep my combo up, then it would be better.
Yeah, there's way too much downtime here, unfortunately. This combo goes up to a lot of damage.
It can, yeah, if
It
the
would
game lets me
easily
do
make
that.
up. It would easily make up for the lack of damage here, if it was possible.
Okay, that's that. I can just get through that. Second one, I believe. Or third one. Second one. Oh, are you serious?
Oh
Wow.
my god. Now he's just trolling you.
Yeah. His knockback just got me into unavoidable damage. And then I got animation locked.
Unfortunate.
Try again. The mental reset. Let's go.
You got this. Again, can we get some hype in the chat for Vord?
We wait here. Okay. He drops his flask, and now I can heal. I can heal with his flask, and time is coming right up as I kill. As I do the final time. There it is.
Very nice.
Unfortunately, not first try, not deathless. It is what it is. This game is very volatile. There's
Absolutely
a really great
incredible
run.
though. Like, that was crazy.
sometimes there's not much you can do, but yeah.
Let's get the GGs in the chat. That
GGs.
Vord. Everyone who is watching this, hopefully you all had you enjoyed that. And hover over Vord's name in the chat or in the title. Literally, if you scroll over top of the of his name, you can click the follow button, and definitely go check out what they do on twitch.tv/Vord_SR. That was pretty crazy there, Vord. That was like, seriously, that was some powerful gameplay. Again, I can't even beat 0 BC, so pretty cool. 2 hours and 13 minutes. Not bad.
Yeah, I'm kind of satisfied with most of the run. Unfortunately, the ending was the ending, but yeah, sometimes things like that happen, and that's also okay. I'm still happy to have showcased this run. It was it's like one of my, I guess you could call it like passion project in this game, like doing this kind of speed run, grinding world records with other runners as well in this category. And well, I'm happy to have showcased it here for sure.
I think you did absolutely incredible. Since this was a long run, I definitely want you to tell the world a little bit about what you do and what they can what they can see when they go to your channel. So why don't you let everybody know what you're all about, Vord?
Most of the time, I do stream Dead Cells, whether it's speed runs or random challenge runs in this game. I try to stream more frequently as well, because there was a time where I haven't really been regular, haven't really been like consistent with my schedule. But I'm definitely going to try and get this run and get the first sub 150. But actually legit, obviously, so I don't like respawn in biomes and stuff. Because yeah, I definitely want to have this the next milestone, which is it. I'm only like 1 minute away from it, so if things go right, I might even have it very soon.
Well, I definitely look forward to seeing it. I'm definitely looking forward to see it. Once again, thank you very much, Ford, for this incredible 0 to 5 BC speed run. Don't go anywhere, everybody. We got more Dead Cells here on the GDQ Hotfix Dead Cells Community Showcase. Canra will be here. Well, she's already here. I'm
here.
You're here. And we are going to have her run through a new file, any percent. That's going to be coming at you very, very shortly. So stick around, get up, stretch, get some water. But we'll be right back with any percent new file. Dead Cells. Welcome back, everybody, to GDQ Hotfix Dead Cells Community Showcase. My name is still Jiggy. It has not been changed yet, and they're not gonna make me change it. Okay, I'm not changing it again. Okay, all right. Welcome back. We have an incredible new game, new file, any percent run coming at you right now from Canra. But right after that, we have ourselves V.me doing the boss rush mode here in this game. 30-minute showcase of the boss rush mode. So we're really excited for that. Hopefully that you have been enjoying this showcase of the Dead Cells game. Again, huge hype in the chat for some Dead Cells. Yeah, super excited. Big update. Update 35 is now out on Steam and consoles. You can take command of the Beheaded once more and venture into the cursed biomes with the array of new weapons and legendary affixes at your disposal. Tackle new enemy types while juggling the looming threat of the curses. But don't worry, you will die in style with over 40 new customization options for your at your fingertips. It's a pretty awesome update. They wanted to say thank you to everybody who contributed to Dead Cells over the years and all of the players who have joined in on the fun and the journey. None of this could have happened without you guys, the players of Dead Cells. So with that, I say we celebrate Dead Cells more by jumping into Canra's new file any percent run. Can we get some hype in the chat? Canra, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So before we jump into this, tell me, what is the major difference? Like we are really jumping into this. You know, this is any percent new file. So this is obviously not going to be the full run like the full game run like Vord did. But can you give us just a quick rundown on what we're about to see here? Because this is a short run. This is the polar opposite.
Yeah. So new file any percent it's actually quite similar to the first few runs. If you were watching the run earlier, the first runs in the early game that went to Hand of the King and killed them normally, those are really similar to this category. The main difference is going to be we optimally don't get the Vine at all. There's actually a little skip that we're gonna do there. And we also don't pick up that many cells. We don't set up to unlock anything. And, well, so since 0 to 5 is a glitchless category, that means they do a lot of things that we don't have to do. Such as, there is actually a bit of a surprise at the final boss. I won't spoil what it is yet. People might have seen the run on YouTube or somewhere else, but you will see when we get there. It's pretty interesting.
Well, I'm super excited for that. And we have Vord once again here, this time in the commentating chair. Vord, you run this as well, right? This category?
Yeah, I got third place recently as well with the introduction of this patch.
So out of curiosity, just from your perspective, because you just did the 0 to 5 BC, tell me like what players should be looking into if they want to start running this category specifically, or if there's a different category you think they should start with.
I think this is a great category to start with because it is more forgiving than 0 to 5, first of all, and also you just have way more. You're getting thrown into like cold water basically in terms of reading ability. Like you will learn to read every single biome from Prisoner's Quarters to High Peak Castle. You will just go through like a crash course in the quickest way possible of how to move through biomes effectively. And a lot of things are in this short category. There's a lot to look out for. A lot of hidden tech, kind of. So it's like by running this, you will know a lot more about this game than you would casually.
All right, so noted. Jiggy cannot play this game because he can't read. All right, got it.
Yeah, this game has reading, it has math, it has a lot of things.
All the things I'm not good at. I'm not good at either reading or math. This is not good. I just want to play the game. But yeah, I'm excited for this. Canra, should we get started? How you feeling?
I'm ready to go whenever, yeah.
All right, whenever you're ready, here we go.
All right, so the timer will start pretty much as soon as I hit start on this. So if you're ready, I'm ready to go. Any countdown? Maybe?
Yeah, Vord, do you want to do the countdown this time?
Sure, why not? So,
all right.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck.
All right, the time can start. Thank you. Okay, so this will be interesting. I actually got the record in this category recently. There's been a lot of changes to the category since we moved to a new patch. We actually used to play on 2.4 because of a certain skip that was possible there, as well as some other things. And one of the first things you might notice here is that my camera is moving a little a little funny. If you watched the previous run, then it might be really obvious to you. But that's a 3.5 exclusive camera setting, and oh god. And it actually helps me see much better in biomes like clock towers, so I consider it to be a pretty good time save. I actually recently got a really big gold with it, so it's definitely like a really good setting. But
Yeah,
it's a bit hard on the eyes, so I'm sorry about that.
It is. After running myself earlier, this feels so different. I can't even look at it for more than 5 seconds.
This is new game. Oh yeah, sorry.
Yep. No, go on. It's okay.
This is new game any percent, fresh file. So super short run. And
this is...
Tamara said that you said you got the record recently, last night, right?
Yep. Actually, right last night.
As in 12 hours ago.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. It was a really crazy run, for sure. And the thing is, it wasn't even the most lucky run you could have, but that's just how the game is, right? Fresh File depends on RNG quite a lot to get a good run, especially at the highest level. There's only so much you can do with reading alone. So one thing I'm going to start doing here that's different from the run earlier is I'm actually going to kill some enemies here and there. The Firebrands is really good for that. Since it's a weapon that can kill enemies while I'm moving, I want to farm 25 cells. That will be required to be able to unlock the Assault Shield. The reason the previous run didn't have to focus so much on that is actually because they got the Vine rune, which is right there. If you're looking, the Vine is right there. But I'm actually going to do. Let's see if I can do it. Come on. I'm messing it up a bit. This one is a bit hard. Let me see if I can pull it off. It's still one of the hardest layouts to do this skip on, and the tech is a bit difficult.
Yeah, this is
I lost the speed boost, unfortunately, which made it easier to do. Oh, there we go.
There it was. Nice.
Yeah, this is actually a newer discovery. That exact movement. We were always able to do this skip to avoid the Vine rune, but it was a different movement and it required speed boost. But with this combination of items, I can do it like that without needing the speed boost. So it's good because I actually lost the speed boost there, and that would normally be a reset if I didn't have these items. So
yeah. Also to know,
that's...
Conra found this kind of movement. It was a few
I
months
found
ago.
this combination of movements specifically. The skip was always there, but I made it a bit more consistent for different item variety, basically. And yeah, that was one of the harder ones, so I'm glad I pulled it off. Got through. This is one of the biggest differences from... Okay, that's a good start.
Nice.
It's one of the biggest differences from 0 to 5, because they just pick up the Vine rune there, they don't have to skip it like that. A lot of Fresh File runs get reset there, since sometimes you just can't skip over the Vine rune. The layout depends a lot on RNG, and your items also. It's doable with a couple of different items, but if you only have the starter bow, then you can't do every single layout unless you have speed boost, and in some cases you need a damage boost. It depends. There's the T-shape object for anyone that just came in. The object I just passed by is a hint, so after I see that object, I have to go underground to look for the exit. If I never see it, then the exit is at the end of the map. This could be pretty lucky, depending on
if
how this
it's
plays out.
First tower, yeah.
Oh yeah, this is really lucky.
Nice.
So this is exactly what you would want in a Fresh File run, actually. This is the best possible RNG in this biome. And yeah, this one kills a lot of runs too, since again, it takes a lot of time to go to the end of the biome. It takes a lot of time to check all of the towers. So this is really, really optimal.
Yeah, you
all
can
right,
use...
here we have the first boss again.
That's right. We've seen him a lot.
Yeah, we've seen him a lot, so this is not really that special anymore, but I'll try
there's
to go for
strats
the
from him.
no-hit, why not? I almost messed up the interrupt there. Okay.
Yeah, something I didn't explain was that you can interrupt his aura. If you hear the sound cue, it's like a... I don't want to do it right now, but it's like a
I
roar.
messed up the roll.
Ah, damn. But you can interrupt.
I wanted to do the funny wall strat.
Ah, damn, yeah. The one that I do.
It's alright. We
But yeah,
don't
it
need
was
to
still a
hit
good
less
fight.
bosses in this run. Especially the latest patch discoveries, actually. I'm gonna check the door here, though, because I need, like, an amulet or, like, a better trap, maybe. Oh, there, that will do, I guess. It's not the amulet I would want, but it helps me with being tankier. And since I have the same amount of my main staff and another staff, that means that the dual scrolls might actually have the staff I want on them now. It's still random, but it's a bit more likely to happen now.
Yeah, so the chance went from 9% of having a good dual scroll to about 51. So it's
this one is not
way more
amazing on
likely.
scrolls so far.
Oh, that's true.
For here, it's not great, but we will make it work somehow. That's just how the game is.
Yeah, and with combo, you can kind of counteract the low scroll count
This
as
is
well.
the really nasty stilt layout. Okay, I made it up.
Nice.
No! Not the spikes!
Nice, still, you got it.
That can happen, but we saved it, it's alright. Yeah, it's pretty much random if you get hit by the spike when you climb there. Unfortunately, there's not much you can do about it since you want to go fast.
Yeah, and no scrolls in Stilt. That is very unfortunate, because in Stilt there's... the density for scrolls is really high. Because there's three...
still have like
scrolls
3
of
power
power.
scrolls.
Yeah, in a very short time period as well.
I'm not sure if I want to keep that. I might reroll
It's
that.
not bad. It's not great either.
Yeah, I'm afraid of rerolling into something like Vamp, though. That could be a bit scary. The rerolls are entirely random after all, so we could get something that we don't want to.
Yeah.
Alright, let me try for the elevated jump. Okay, I got a decent one there.
Almost, yeah. It's...
So yeah, this is where the difference from the camera setting is really obvious. If you watched the boards run earlier, you would notice that they were climbing clock tower and the camera was barely keeping up, so like they were barely on screen the entire time they were climbing. So with these camera settings that I have, the camera is always pretty much on me. It's a bit hard on the eyes, but it makes this climb much easier. Trying to do some ledge cancels too. I'm not as good at them as the board is, but I'm trying. And the spikes really have it out for us today.
It's okay. They always do.
Okay, I might actually drink here just to be safe. We are pretty squishy right now. Oh, that's better than what I have. Oh,
That
and
is
there's
better,
the key,
yeah.
so this is pretty lucky again.
First tower keys are what you are looking for fresh file all the time. Because anything less than that and you're just losing like 40 seconds or more.
Yeah, and there's the manip I talked about. I entered the biome for tactics and for brutality, so that scroll actually ended up being brutality, which is really good since I am pretty low on stats right now. Oh, not here.
This is looking like a... Yeah, that's the exit
Yeah,
path.
it's a little slow clock tower even for being first key, but that's just the nature of the game, unfortunately. I think it had 3 towers, which is usually a layout that ends up being slower, since more enemy rooms end up being in the towers that you go to. Just how the distribution goes, unfortunately. But yeah, this will be pretty similar to the 0 to 5 run. We're going to bully Timekeeper a little bit. Hopefully, we come out alive.
This is a very difficult fight on fresh file.
Yeah, Timekeeper can go really fast, but it's still a pretty difficult fight to execute correctly. Okay, this is a good phase switch. I might keep my crits, but I will lose the combo here. Ah, unfortunately, I went too early.
Still very good
Alright,
fight.
no ice grenades today. So, one big difference from 2.4 Fresh File is actually that we would normally pick up that blueprint that just dropped. If you watched older Fresh File runs, you might be familiar with the light speed, the hyperspeed tech that we used to do. That's no longer a thing in this category. We changed this.
Yep.
There's a really good reason for it. But yeah, we normally used to have to farm a lot of cells. We used to have to pick up that blueprint, actually unlock it, and then set up for a glitch called the hyper, which allowed us to skip the final boss. We don't need to do any of that anymore. This is unfortunate, so the path is unknown to me right now. I think it's this way. No, it is that way. Okay. This is the troll shop, like we've seen earlier. That means that I don't know where the exit is, but I could get lucky. Or I could tank a lot of hits. I'm gonna take a second to heal when I get to the door here. I still have like second-hand nervousness from watching Wards run earlier.
I'm so sorry.
You're doing great.
Yeah, this is not normally how this would go.
Yeah, Castle is quite a difficult biome as well.
It's
kind of
really easy to die in Castle on Fresh Fire. Okay, I'm gonna get behind this elite. There's our first key. The damage isn't amazing, but it's alright. We don't have any synergies on our weapon, which is the main reason why the damage isn't amazing. Alright. I'm actually going to go past this door since I still need to see if this path has the exit. So we don't know, we have to check. Oh, this is the bait room.
That
I
was
got
the bait
baited.
room.
Alright, so we have the green door here, and oh, this is the exit, so this is good.
That's great placement too for it.
Okay, now we have to go kill the second elite for the key.
Yeah, as you can see, he turns around normally. But
yeah, I almost hit him there.
Yeah. But if you bop him with the assault shield enough times, he just never gets to turn around, and then you can just whack away.
Yeah, Assault Shield can interrupt a lot of enemies. As you saw in the last run, it interrupts the final boss of 5VC quite well if you time it right. It's a tricky shield to use though, since it moves you forward like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're almost at the end, and we're not unlocking light speed. You know how I said earlier that there's actually a surprise at the final boss? It's a pretty nice surprise. It's actually funny because this glitch has been in the game for a long time, like probably since the start of the game, and we recently discovered it, like a few days ago. If you move your camera down like this and crouch the entire time, then you just start rolling like this, you can actually just walk past him. Yep. You don't need to fight him. So that's why we don't need to do the hyperspeed anymore either. Which lets us run a little bit faster through the biomes as well. We don't have to check the time doors anymore optimally. We don't have to unlock the light speed, and yeah, it saves a lot of time. And time will be coming up soon here when I enter this fountain here.
You can do that in your casual playthroughs as well.
And
see you later, boss.
Fine.
GG.
GG. Nice.
Who needs to fight the final boss? You can just skip him.
An end is an end. That's any percent.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah, so that's how the fresh file run normally looks.
15 seconds on, or 15 minutes on the dot. Literally 15 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad I
pretty
made
great.
the made the estimate there.
All planned.
I was being a little shaky, so I was worried that I was gonna mess up and lose too much time. But
I think you did great. That was pretty incredible. Thank you so much for that run. Definitely get some hype in the chat, and everyone, please go follow Canra. Please go follow Canra. In the title of the stream, you can hover over her name and click the follow button. That would be really great. And yeah, Canra, tell the world a little bit more about what you do and what you play on your show.
So I like to do more recently. I've been doing casual playthroughs a lot, like picking up some games that I've always wanted to play but never did. Most of the time, I'm either doing a speed run or a challenge run, which means like just doing something difficult just for the sake of doing it. Basically, you know how it goes. I tried a little bit of hitless stuff before, but most of the time I just like to do difficult content in any way, shape, or form.
Definitely
and yeah,
cool.
That's about it.
Again, everybody that's watching, top of your chat right now, there's a big follow button. Click on that heart next to Canra, and I really do appreciate it. That was absolutely incredible. This was a really amazing run. Thank you so much, Canra, for being here, and also thank you, Board, for doing the run before. Yeah, thank you so much. This was awesome. Thank you so much for doing a little Dead Cells showcase.
Thank you
for having us.
Awesome. All right, we will be right back. Another quick break here. Another quick break before we get back here. We will have V.me doing boss rush mode. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. GDQ Hotfix. Welcome back, everybody, to the GDQ Hotfix Dead Cells Showcase, the Dead Cells Community Showcase. My name is Jiggy, and for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to talk to you, and we're not going to play a single video game. That's it. V canceled. This is just it really happened. You can all get mad in the chat. Don't blame me. Just blame V. Go tweet at them right now, okay? I'm going to talk to you about Dead Cells for the next 30 minutes. I'm kidding. We have V.me gonna be playing the boss rush mode coming at you very, very soon here. Very, very fun day. Super excited to be here. I hope that you've all had a great day. And we're here celebrating not only the Dead Cells community, but Update 35, it's out. It's on Steam. It's on consoles. You once again can take command of the Beheaded and venture into the new cursed biomes with the array of new weapons and legendary affixes at your disposal. You can tackle new enemy types while juggling the looming threat of the curse. But don't worry, you'll die in style with over 40 new customization options for at your fingertips. All right. We want to say thank you to everybody who has contributed to Dead Cells over the years. All of the players who have joined in on this incredible journey. None of this could have happened without you. So with that, we're going to wrap it up here with our full-on boss rush mode. V.me. V, how are you? It's good to see you.
I am good. Suddenly it's hot. It's been cool all week, but now it feels like it's 90 degrees. So
it's hot now. Yeah.
Maybe it's just me.
I think it's chat. Chat made it hot, don't you think?
Chat, please, not today. Of all days.
Absolutely.
Chat made it hot. So we have V.me. How are you? Welcome to the show. We also have Loot. Loot's here. Loot or Die. Loot's going to be doing commentator.
Hey guys.
Thanks
so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Definitely excited. So give oh yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say Loot's been doing this as much as I have, and I need someone who's like also sharing same brain cell as me. So thank you, Loot, for joining in on this.
We'll take turns.
Can I borrow it for the evening? I might need it for the evening.
The
brain
today.
cell.
Next
not
time.
Today. Okay. Next time. All right. It's fine. So V, tell the GDQ audience and tell everybody a little bit about you before we get into this run.
Sure. So I'm V.me. At this point, I've done a lot of roguelike games, specifically Dead Cells, but a lot of others. Dead Cells I've been able to do with live events, with a lot of different things. They have a board game coming out soon, and we were able to showcase a little bit of that. So I've done a lot with the Motion Twin and Evil Empire team, and this is one more thing that we get to, celebrate along with them and you all.
Yeah, definitely cool. And Luke, how about you? What's a little bit about you? How did you get involved in this whole Dead Cells thing?
Yeah, it's funny. I was working at a call center, and a buddy of mine just kind of walked up to me one day and was like, "Have you heard of this game, Dead Cells?" And I hadn't at the time. It was when it was still in early access. And so I ended up taking a look at it and picked it up on PlayStation when it came out in 2018, I think. And just, basically started playing it all the time. It's pretty much been my mainstream game for like 6 years. And, I play a lot of different stuff, from Metroidvanias, Souls-likes, roguelites, but I keep going back to Dead Cells. It's just so damn good,
Definitely. So V, update 35 is out, which means a lot of new people are checking out the game. A lot of people are stuck at 0 BC, aka me. Can you give just a little bit of like some pointers or anything that new players should check out when they're getting involved here?
So update 35 specifically actually made the game slightly harder. Now, it's not mandated difficulty. It's all stuff that you can opt into. And really what it does is it gives 3 enemies the chance to insta-kill you if they, get lucky. Doesn't always happen. So for a new player, play the game as normal. Don't even consider the new 35 stuff. Once you're a little bit deeper in, once you get to the second boss cell worth of difficulty, this is going to start to show up. And I know this is a roguelike game and you die and you lose everything, and that's sad, I'm sure. But on the flip side, the sooner you learn these mechanics, possibly the better overall. So I'd say from a mindset standpoint, think of the new update as a new player. Once you get to difficulty 2, as a new way to like enhance your gameplay.
Now, it's not, and it's not like it's just,
to add to that, like, do you have anything to add for new players if they just picked it up on Steam, or if they're like me? I've been playing Dead Cells on my iPhone for the last like 6 months with my little. I've been playing with the backbone, so it's been watching TV, playing Dead Cells on my iPhone.
Nice. Yeah, that's wild, man. I haven't been able to pull off the mobile thing. I got big hands, I got to try and I got to have a controller for that. But I guess the backbone, it's a little easier.
Yeah, with the backbone.
So the main thing for the main thing with the new update is, you have these cursed biomes that you can go into, and they're a more difficult version of the biome, but it's not just harder. Like, you actually get more stuff, you get better amulets, you get better gear. And there's just more, there's a higher value, there's a higher chance of a curse, which is, of course, an additional amulet and an additional scroll put into your biome. So there's a lot of value in being able to choose those for players that are experienced. It's a fun way to kind of switch it up. I have a rule where I basically, if I find a cursed biome, I have to go to it. And that kind of takes a little bit of the control away from me. Otherwise, I could go to the biomes that I find easy all the time. This way, I have to go to biomes like the outskirts and, a few other places that are generally challenging and I wouldn't want to go to. So it's a way of splitting it up. But honestly, I don't know. This new update is great. And the new skins, we got all these costume skins, of course. But now this new update gives us the head skins. And there's probably like 10 different, or no, 10, how many? Like 30, 35?
It's over 40.
Do the math. It's right there.
Oh, is it? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. And so, so you have all of these new skins that you can unlock. And it's just a lot of great content. We've been waiting for a while, and finally it's out of beta.
Yeah, it's definitely super exciting. All right, with that, V, before we get started here, tell the audience just a little bit about what we're about to see in this run.
So I know a lot of you all have just watched 0 to 5 BC with Vord. Fantastic run. Conra, another fantastic run. Fresh File. Those are actual runs of Dead Cells. We're going to be doing a completely different game mode. This is Boss Rush, officially added to the game. Back in the day, we had to fake it with Training Room. However, we're even doing a little bit extra on top of that, where the hard mode version of Boss Rush has actually harder bosses. all of what you saw in 0 to 5 BC and Conra's run, that's all going to be different bosses. So it's very difficult. My hope is I can do all 3 colors today. I know we have a limited time, but if I can get through all 3 colors of Boss Rush, I think you'll be in for quite a treat.
Awesome. Well, whenever you're ready, we can get that timer going.
Sure, we'll let you all know in just a second. Just have to get in there.
No problem.
Yeah, so this isn't even the right room. So Loot, we were talking a little bit about Boss Rush. This is not an actual speedrun category. This is for very good reasons. It's not. Did you want to kind of talk through what makes this so interesting?
So there's an element of RNG to it where you don't really, I mean, you can choose the bosses you want to fight, but if you just go through those doors that V's gone through here, the game basically picks those bosses for you, and it could be any of the bosses. And some of them are much harder than others, especially with the augmented versions. The augmented versions can be really rough. I, for example, struggle a lot with Dracula Augmented. It's just a fight that I can't wrap my head around. But it's also difficult because you don't have time between the bosses. I mean, that is the boss rush. That's the nature of boss rush. But in the regular game, you have a little bit of time between the fights to kind of get back into the flow of the game. And with the boss rush, it's just fight after fight after fight. So you really have to pay attention if you don't want to get taken out.
Yeah, sorry, we're just doing a little bit of adjustments here. Just give me one moment.
I don't know. I think this should become a speedrun category. What do you think, Loot?
You know, I could see it, although I'm pretty sure Vord would get it.
Vord did absolutely incredible.
Oh, yeah. No, that 0 to 5 BC is tough. It's a
cool
tough category.
Run.
Production all good now?
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, so we'll see what V chooses for his color here. You get to choose any of the main 3 colors, and then it does pick the quote-unquote optimal number of scrolls for you. And after each fight, you get the upgrades that you would normally have in a run if this weren't a boss rush. So he'll have a lot of choices here, and we're hoping for good RNG, because sometimes bad RNG can really cause problems for you in one of these runs, because you can't really choose what you're going to get. The tubes are what you get, and hopefully it's good ones. Oh, it looks like Vord's saying that it is, in fact, a speedrun category. There you go.
So as soon as I hit the color here, the timer can start.
Awesome.
Okay.
Are we all good with production? Are we good? All right. So whenever you're ready there, Loot, do you want to do the countdown?
Oh, from
wherever you want. You want, I mean, maybe not like 300, but like.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, you can see the bosses right there that we're looking at. Which already means some of the stuff is not possible to use up here. There's Mama Tick in there, so that means I cannot go fire at all.
You will get an altar after this, which is going to be colorless items. So they basically turn the color of your highest scroll. And so this can really make or break a build. And hopefully he's able to pick something that's going to help him out.
So this is really about building, like building, right?
Exactly.
If
you get one shot and you try and mix it all together in a way that's going to work out. And then you throw it against the RNG of not knowing exactly what the bosses are going to be some of the time.
Yeah, and I'm playing just the normal mode version of the game. I'm letting the game do the RNG, and I just try to pick what seems optimal. I could have perhaps like maybe gone to custom mode and start off with something specific, but it's not what we're going for here.
So there's a good chance that we're actually going to see some bosses that we did not see in either Kenra's or Vord's run.
Yeah, which should already have happened. This boss...
Yeah, I don't think that we saw death. Yeah.
Wow, that's some really good site placement from the boss.
Oh, it's the worst part of this fight. They just pop out of nowhere, especially for the flawless. Sometimes you just get hit because they appear on top of your hitbox, and I've had a couple of runs of flawless attempts on this one ruined just by bad scythe placement.
So this is gonna go through 2, then 2, then 1 for the bosses. And ideally, I don't want to pop 2 health pots if I can help it. We already used 1, unfortunately, but the boss is very serious here. We actually had a conversation, Loot, about the differences between these bosses and the standard ones in the game. Mama Tick specifically is going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, some of them have some major differences. This one has more spikes throughout the fight. And a lot of it, though, is this, I would say, is one of the fights that's actually quite similar to the regular counterpart compared to some of the other fights, which change a lot. This one just has more of those spikes throughout the fight for the most part. I do actually prefer this palette, though, to the regular palette. I think it's kind of like a dark purple or a black with the eyes. The green looks a little bit more sinister.
I can agree with that. Definitely looks like more of an infected enemy. To kind of go along with the whole malaise setup. Unfortunate.
Something I didn't get to say during the other runs was just how incredible the music is in this game. The music is bonkers.
Oh, for sure. There honestly isn't a single song in this game, I think, that is bad. I think there are some that are better than others. Some, there's some fire tracks. Clock Tower is fantastic. Caverns is fantastic. High Peak Castle is amazing. But overall, I don't know if there's a single song in this game that I didn't enjoy. Really good stuff.
Yeah, I actually am using the chiptune soundtrack right now. That's your favorite up there.
Oh no, time for Dracula. So he's got a chance to really turn his build around now. He's got a shop for both skills and weapons, and he'll be able to kind of adjust his mutations as well as a couple of the choices he's made here. So hopefully he can find something that he's happy with. These are the moments that kind of make or break your build because you get a chance to really dial in to the bosses that you're fighting.
No more pan V?
No.
You're not going to cook up some eggs?
So the game also is scaling each item every time we get to one of these shops because the monsters are literally harder as we go up. So I have to consider, A, can Pan even deal with the monster coming up? And B, is it the right choice for that monster?
Now, it is possible to play and beat the game with level 4 unupgraded gear. But of course, it's going to take a lot longer, and it's generally in your best interest to upgrade when you can. Unless you say if you have like a double damage affix, that's worth a lot. There's your quad damage fire blast. Wow, if he can survive here, the damage is going to be insane. That's a great roll.
I can't not do it, right?
And of course, with damage being exponential in this game, things multiply on top of multipliers. You get some pretty bonkers numbers if you optimize and min-max effectively.
Will Serenade destroy my cat? I was going to say the other word, but will it destroy the cat?
I think only in the transition biome. I think it was kind of like an Easter egg in there. I don't think that'll be a problem in game.
Right.
So this is really exciting because we didn't get to see this during the run at all, but this is part of the Castlevania DLC from Dead Cells, right?
That's right. And it's fully faithful to so much of what made the Castlevania series great. They did a really good job. This was truly an homage that you could tell that they loved the source material.
Yet V is just melting Dracula.
Not what I expected.
Yes, this fight is tough. You can't dodge some of the fireballs he throws in this one.
Oh, wow.
Just a savage.
He was just on the actual opposite side of the screen. Had he been like at least a foot in front, I would have actually closed the gap there. It's very unfortunate, but at least that was very quick. We can still get through the 3 colors, I think.
Oh man, and actually we got Inhaler is Insane saying the cat actually destroys Serenade, not the other way around. I was under the impression that Serenade was the one that was the jealous one. Ooh, heavy turret's a good choice. Some stun power is really effective in these fights.
Yeah, that one brain cell that I was gonna share, I don't think I can do that anymore. I'm sorry.
No more sharing.
Because at this point, I have to really consider we're fighting against 2 different bosses, and I think they require 2 different skill sets almost. Holy Water is actually not going to do anything here, but it does something in the next fight.
Yeah, this particular fight was really rough when it first came out. A lot of the hitboxes didn't make sense, and a lot of the hitboxes didn't line up with the visual. We all struggled a lot with this particular one. They did end up tweaking it and fixing a lot of the stuff that was kind of broken, but I remember when this first came out, a lot of us were kind of scratching our heads on why we kept getting hit.
Ooh. I'm surprised I didn't get hit by that tentacle. Loot, could you tell the audience what the difference is between this and what Vord may have done in 5PC or 0 to 5PC?
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, I mean, with Vord, he's trying to get through the entire game 6 times, essentially. He's trying to get through that, all the difficulties in one go. I mean, this one is really just throwing every single boss it can at you one after another. As we were saying earlier, like the RNG is pretty high because you don't really control it. Now, of course, there is a way to customize that. You can lock certain bosses out of the spawn pool. But for the most part, if you're just kind of doing this, then you got to take the risk. Maybe it's going to be Dracula this time. Maybe it's going to be the Lighthouse next time. And you're just kind of hoping for a combination of good gear, good RNG, and yeah, hoping that those advanced movesets from the augmented bosses aren't going to just kind of surprise you. I find myself taking a lot of hits where I don't expect it. The Giant, for example, has 4 arms instead of 2. So that can be really tough. Oh, this is a good one. This is a fun one.
Yeah, you all have seen many concierges today. That's going to be a lot different than what you saw.
That's right. We've had first concierge, yes.
It's 2 concierges.
Nice. What do we give these guys as a name? I know, V, you often have fun names for the various creatures and abilities in this game. I call Instincto the Master of Arms Instincto pretty much entirely because of you.
For the longest time,
but
the 2 concierges were Shark Girl and a Lava Boy.
Nice. There it is. We were calling one of them Pikachu, I think, for a little while there. I don't recall what the purple one would be, but I'm sure there's a Pokemon there.
I feel like you have to go with Gengar at that point. Like any other purple Pokemon is nothing compared to a Gengar. Oops.
Even though the moveset's a little trickier, you know, this guy's still a bit of a putz. He's not too bad. Once you get him down to the one guy, it's one of the easiest fights in the game.
Sell it, please.
Nice. I'm actually stoked to see that the leg hugger, the new legendary affix for the leg hugger is that you get 2 of them. So that was kind of cool. I haven't had a chance to play with the leg hugger for a while, so next time I get a legendary, I'll definitely be taking it. Okay. You got the Scarecrow.
And the Giant.
It's getting spicy. Giant's going to be intense. Scarecrow, I haven't fought him a lot. I think he mainly has a lot more scythes kind of flying around, or sickles flying around. But yeah, the Giant's going to be a fun one. It's there's a whole new set of hitboxes to get used to.
Yeah, so even though we
And
already
yeah,
had one of those, that one was higher level. So I figured I should probably do the swap.
Yeah, especially here where you're not really saving up money for any particular reason. You know, it's the money you have is there to be spent. So it makes sense to upgrade as much as you can. And yeah, what Vord said here, this is understating how skilled V is at the game. The double concierge fight is incredibly difficult without crowd control skills. Absolutely, they can double up on you real easy. And if they both have their auras and then they both jump, it's very difficult to avoid the hit. And the flawless is actually quite difficult to get in that fight, including all the other augmented fights. They're definitely very challenging.
I have to go for safety almost every single time. Like, I would love to do something lightly spicy, but even before we start today, I was telling Loot, I have to basically play to win. And I don't always do that, funny enough. It's just like really compelling content to me to use things that are like the underdog item, but that's not happening. Not today.
Funny thing is that even though he's got 4 arms and this fight is quite difficult, I would say this is actually one of the more balanced fights of the augmented set. They did a really good job of still providing some clear open spots. You just have to be a little bit more careful during this phase where the crystals are falling down. You can see they're actually all moving much more quickly than they would in the regular Giant fight.
That hanged for like half a second.
This boss does a little bit of that. You get to see that in the Hand of the King sometimes, but the Giant is very prone to kind of having his hands get stuck. It's not necessarily stun. I think it's probably like buildup of breach, which in this game is what we call poise damage. So stun from continuous damage. A lot of enemies and bosses will kind of stutter a little bit, and that can mess with your timing if you're not careful. But yeah, that was great.
You all may be familiar with the shield I'm using from every run earlier. Salt Shield, a classic.
Ah, yes, the shield from every other run today.
It's a good one. Yeah, so this fight, this guy's basically a glass cannon, and he goes down pretty quick. He doesn't have a ton of health relative to the other bosses, but yeah, he's definitely really, really aggressive, especially in the second half of the fight.
That's
he'll do that
unlucky.
sight swipe. Yeah, he'll do that sight swipe maybe 5-6 times in a row if you're not careful. I do kind of wish there was a way to put the augmented boss fights into the game. That would have been really cool as like a 6 BC if we could have had augmented bosses and maybe a little bit more incoming damage from enemies in general. I think that would have been more than enough to justify a 6 BC, to be honest. Yeah, what Ben Bren said there, stagger. Exactly. So in this game, stagger is called breach. Which I guess is distinct from stun, which is a status effect as opposed to what breach does.
That one requires so much brain power. Like, I'm sure there's many ways to go about it, but never easy.
Claps in the chat for that one. That was crazy.
Yeah, he moves around a lot.
Would you say that that's faster than the normal version of that boss?
I think so. I think there's a little bit less time between the stuff he does. He doesn't take quite as much time between moves. I don't know if he necessarily does more of them. I just think that, yeah, there's just a little bit less time between them.
Hand of the King coming up.
Nice. Hand of the King is actually surprisingly similar to his regular version. I was always kind of surprised they didn't augment him more. Now, interesting. Ben Brent correcting me again here with Stagger and Breach being two different things. Man, you learn something every day.
I'm going to see if I can get extremely lucky here. It's like, oh, okay. All right. So it was stuttering for a second, as if it wanted to figure out, did it want to give me the move speed or not?
And of course, the move speed here is super useful because the Swift Sword crits when you are moving quickly, as in you have the speed bonus. So he wants to be able to take advantage of that, because otherwise it's a decent sword, but it's not a great sword. And with the extra crits that it does, it becomes one of the best weapons in the game. So we definitely want to proc that speed boost as much as we can.
You all have seen many Hand of the Kings today as well.
That's one of the distinctions right there, is he does the double jump slam, which he doesn't do in the regular fight. It's one of the few big distinctions between this fight and the regular one.
What a corner.
Nice. Really clean fight so far. Fantastic fight.
Wow.
Really well done, dude.
So that's just brutality, though. My hope with the amount of time we have is we can get through all three colors. That was 18 minutes with a loss.
I think you can do it.
All we need is good RNG. Loot, at what point is it RNG or is it skill?
Oh, it's hard to say. I think when you can start doing these runs with the low gear, you can start to remove RNG as a factor. You know, that's what a lot of these 0 to 5 BC runs are all about, is that, you know, you're not dealing with the amount of upgrades that would make the game much easier otherwise. So, you know, it's just practice, I guess, is really what it comes down to.
I can't believe that you just told V to get good loot. What is going on?
I mean, he got good. That was an excellent Hand of the King fight. Nice. Tactics. So Tactics is the squishy color. He's going to have a very low amount of health, a lot of range, and a ton of damage. Tactics is definitely one of my favorites, but the margin for error is pretty low. And if you're not careful, you can get one shot very easily. Most big hits will take between 75 and 90% of his health off. And so he's really got to build his character carefully.
Yeah, so I don't always go for safety here. I have confidence in especially these items as tactics, but even still, one mistake when you're under pressure and the lights are over you, no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, sure. I'm glad they fixed the hitboxes for Kanji. That was definitely a struggle for the first little while when this came out, when Vord was still working on that first Cursed Sword run.
Typically in the normal fight for Conjunctivius, you only see that move that like to call Toho. If you fail the DPS check, like it goes on for too long, it will do this bullet hell. In this version of Boss Rush, it always does that.
And you'll also notice that there are tentacles coming out of the ground at all times. Usually that's reserved for the phase he's in right now. But in this augmented version, it's a factor the whole time.
Thank you, Tesla, by the way.
Tesla doing the Lord's work. You know, it's funny that they've nerfed this thing twice now, and it's still one of the best skills in the game. Kind of like the Boy's Axe. The Boy's Axe got multiple nerfs and still manages to be one of the best weapons in the game. And you notice that she does the roaring thing in the middle of the screen quite a bit during this augmented rush as well.
Thank you, Serenade.
That's right, Kanji. Kanji is a lady, apparently, as with the Rampagers as well. Rampagers are ladies too. And of course, Timekeeper also. I find a lot of folks will, when they first meet the Timekeeper, they don't realize.
Yeah, but once you get the skin, it's right there.
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Nice. I like what Quasinart said over here, saying skill is when RNG makes things different, not worse.
Ooh,
you kind
I
of
like
just
that.
adjust your play style. Yeah, you adjust your play style instead of being too worried about it.
Double fire.
Yeah, one of the things I love about this game is there's so many viable play styles when it comes to Dead Cells. You know, so many of the weapons feel distinctly different, and so many of the tactics feel different. Tactics in this case being things you do versus the color he's got. But for example, I don't ever use Serenade. I'm not a fan of it at all. And yet here's V absolutely demolishing these guys with Serenade. It's really cool to see how everybody kind of brings their own flavor to the builds that they make.
One health bot, perfectly okay with that. It's only 3 rounds, basically, so that gives you 1 extra pot in case something goes wrong. Oh, wow.
Again.
You would think tactics might have a slight advantage here, though. At least for the giant part.
That's right. Yeah, especially with the Star Fury, putting out additional stars, you can do damage to other parts of the giant while you're fighting his hands. And it's a very effective weapon. It was a little bit underpowered when it first came in. It's, of course, the Terraria reference, but it has become one of my favorites. I love putting it in the backpack and having Porky-Pack on there. So you roll through enemies, and then it hits them, and then you get the stars coming out of the sky as well. And if you get a legendary version, then it does twice the stars. So you can get some really, really nice indirect damage while you're just rolling through enemies.
That's actually a really cool detail. I would have never thought to Porky-Pack it just to get the additional stars on random enemies. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, it's really effective on bats, the enemies that don't have a lot of health. It's kind of a fun, not optimized way of doing it. As you can see, he's using networking here to just absolutely break the giant's hands while he's not even fighting it. And that's a fantastic strategy for a boss fight like this, where he just has so much going on.
Okay. Like half the time, I'm not even allowed to be on the fist.
Beautiful.
That one is a nice warm up. I think the actual boss is the one that's coming up.
Yeah, it was actually a little bit
reset.
I was going to say I was a little bit surprised you didn't take the cards, actually. The cards are so effective with networking as well, because you have so many projectiles going out all the time. The legendary version of the cards may well be one of the top weapons in the game, because it applies a different status effect every single time you use it. And so you have fire and, stone and root and burning and coal, the frost effect and stuff as well. So, I mean, the regular's not quite as good. Yeah, the regular's not quite as good, but it's still pretty damn good.
Wow.
Yeah, the only catch with the Tesla turret is that you have to go into the distillery, and, well, we don't talk about the distillery.
It's just crazy how different this fight is compared to when you were running the Brutal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a very different strategy, isn't it? When you can stay a little bit further away, he just doesn't have to engage it nearly as much.
Like, that was hitless, right?
It was.
You just hitless that?
The last
Claps in the chat for that.
Probably would have hit me if it didn't die. Funny enough, loot, I'm sure you know this, but the parry on those sickles, one of those sides, I never know which one. One of those sides, the parry is not facing the sickle, it's facing Scarecrow. So like you're actually parrying like behind yourself.
Oh, that's so strange. Ooh, that's a good lacerating aura. So yeah, since he got the flawless fight, the 3 items he gets to choose from are their legendary counterparts, which of course can be very, very good depending on what you happen to get here.
This is Dracula coming up.
Ooh, tough fight.
But Tesla. Dracula plus Tesla.
Tesla's gone. I got rid of it because I'm
Tesla's
smart.
gone. You did get rid of it.
Now,
Totally not gonna bite me later.
ooh, plus 40% Bible. That's always a good one.
I know. Hear me out, though. Okay, now hear me out.
Looks like V is going into a damage over time build here with a Hokuto. It is a weapon that basically applies an additional form of damage over time to whatever you attach it to. And it basically ticks damage whenever other damage occurs to an enemy. And so you can basically have another stack. It requires you to be doing damage other than the Hokuto in order to really proc that. It'll be a small yellow number that'll appear in the many numbers we're about to see. But if you can stack it effectively, it can be very effective. And of course, in the biomes, it spreads as well. So that's really good too.
Tesla's back.
It is back. It showed itself again, which means it's a sign.
Nice. And of course, the electric whip is one of the best weapons in the game. I wouldn't say it's the strongest weapon in the game, but given how shock works and given that it is ranged, but also quite variable in where you can fire, because of the auto aim, it can be a really effective weapon, even if it's not the most powerful one. Now, this is a hard fight.
Oh, wow. I was not ready for either of those, apparently.
All right, we're heading into phase 2 now.
You know, maybe the Bible wasn't half bad. What a setup.
Just bats all over the shop.
Bats and the down slam on the only available platform.
Very nice. Tough fight. Right? Even the regular version of Well, even the regular version of that fight is quite challenging, but yeah, this one comes with extra bats.
Jiggy, do we have the time for the survival? We're like 15
Tech, do we have the
each?
time for the... All right. Yep, we're good.
All right.
Nice. All right, time for survival.
When Richard says we're good, we're good. So...
Richard, thank you. I feel like I'm in the zone. If we stop there,
I don't know.
Sad.
I mean, you just went ham on that on Dracula, so we can't stop you here.
So V has an opportunity here to set up constant crits because the axe he's got is going to root the enemies, and then the Nutcracker does crits when an enemy is rooted. And so you can set up, or frozen, I guess. But yeah, you can set up doing a lot of crits with this weapon, which is otherwise a little bit slow, and its crit condition is a bit conditional. But at the same time, yeah, as soon as you have the boys axe in the mix here, there's some potential here.
I was gonna say I already forgot what boss I'd fight. I just saw the combo and knew, like, whatever boss it is, it's probably this. This tube, that is.
And of course, the cudgel is fantastic in the backpack because he's going to be parrying through Armadillo Pack, and the cudgel is going to be stunning these guys and removing them from the fight for a few seconds. And that can be really, really effective at managing having to fight two enemies at the same time. There it is. Beautiful. Love that midair parry.
So are we just getting lucky here with these same bosses, or is this like it's just how it is?
It just is how it is. It's complete RNG. Sometimes it'll be a little easier. Sometimes it'll be harder. And in this case, yeah, it looks like we lucked out a little bit with getting these guys. Although, once again, not to understate the challenge of this fight. This is a difficult fight just because there's so much overlap in the movesets. V is playing very well here.
Yeah, half the time I have to cancel the attack I'm doing because they're doing things that are not parryable and require jumps, for example. Like, I can't dodge roll through the trail of flame.
And that was just the regular concierge.
Now we relax.
Getting a little split. Yeah,
As you can see, that's
we're getting a little
super effective.
I was gonna say we were getting a little Splatoon 3 gameplay right here with that hammer. If you know, you know. We had that run today too. That was a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys have played Splatoon 3 Side Order, but it's kind of a wacky roguelite.
Is it
Oh, nice. No, I haven't.
solo? I only know Splatoon as being a co-op game.
So the DLC for the third Splatoon game is a roguelike where you go up a giant tower and you build a whole build based on battling floors. It's really fun. Like, if you haven't played it, it's really fun.
So
And
he's
yeah, it's
switching it
single
up
player.
here. He's switching it up here so that he has
I
that
lose
shield,
the
the
boy
stun
axe.
shield. Oh no. You can have it back at the end of the fight.
That's funny.
But yeah, with the shield in the mix here, he's going to be able to make use of that, especially because when Monotic hits, she usually hits a couple times in a row. And then being able to stun her and take her out of the fight for a moment, it can be really valuable here.
So unfortunately, the rebound stone, which does ricochet off of platforms, apparently this boss arena has no ceiling.
Yeah, same thing happens in the Hand of the King, unfortunately. It just goes straight to space.
There he goes.
Of course, with Momotic being stunned there, he's getting the crits from the axe as well, or the hammer, rather. And so, once again, very effective at being able to set up those crit conditions, which are otherwise difficult to do.
All right, V, you're flexing with these parries.
I had to.
Yeah.
Clean.
I wish I had that, but it's okay. So loot, survival. I know a lot of people, when they think survival, they think baseball bat. Is there anything else that you would like to use besides a baseball bat when playing survival?
Oh man, there are so many good choices. I'm always partial to the broadsword, although it is a little bit slow. One of the things I really like, you had it right there in the shop. The Death Scythe is one of the best weapons in the game. Seismic Strike is great. I was talking about having weapons in the Porky Pack earlier, and Seismic Strike is another one that's great in the backpack because you can roll through enemies and you can root them while you roll through them. So the thing with survival is that a lot of the individual weapons are kind of slow, but it's about the synergies you can create between them. A lot of things will either do slow or stun or freeze, and those things can be exploited really effectively. Also, the survival mutations provide one called Killer Instinct. Not Killer Instinct. What was it called? It used to be called Fatal Cadence. I'm already forgetting what it's called. But it's the one that makes your move speed faster if you switch back and forth between two weapons.
That's
I've already
Kill
forgotten
Rhythm.
the name. That's terrible. Kill Rhythm. Thank you. God, I still don't like that name very much. I still think Fatal Cadence was more badass. But that being said, you can make a lot of these slow weapons faster. And so there is actually a lot of variety within survival, when at first the tendency is to stick with something like the bat and a wolf trap. You realize you actually have quite a lot of options for locking things down. And of course, you do have many of the parry mutations as well. So if you do have a shield, you can make that shield very strong with survival.
Speaking of baseball bat, I actually missed one up top by about $700.
Yeah, survival's definitely the one that I warmed up to last. I started playing brutality at first because the grenades were so nice to have just a quick panic button with. And then tactics is a lot of fun because your damage output is just so high and ranged. But survival took me a little while to get behind, and honestly, it's become I was going to say one of my three favorite colors. But it's just I've really warmed up to it since starting to play with it more and learning how to make a lot of those slow builds more viable. Now, V's using one of the difficult weapons to use here. This actually has a fairly high skill ceiling, and if you use it with a rhythmic way, then you can actually have this AOE crit that is essentially infinite. And while it is difficult to set up, it's very, very good because you can hit multiple targets at once, and the crits are actually quite strong. One that I have never really mastered, but it can be a lot of fun to watch and play.
The amount of skill right now is crazy with these parries and everything that we're seeing right now.
Almost mandatory for this fight. It's such a hard fight, just in general.
Yeah, there's so much damage flying around that if you're not careful, and especially in this last phase here, you see he's doing those big overhead swipes, and he'll do them, 8-ish times in a row if you're not careful. So, and he will take half your health, within a few seconds. So that was great.
Yeah, it's almost like the memes for Elden Ring, where the combos just keep going. The boss does not stop swinging. That's the same thing Scarecrow does. Just non-stop onslaught. Now, we didn't see Timekeeper today. Knock on wood, assuming I don't die.
Timekeeper's a tough one. The augmented Timekeeper, well, one thing is the regular Timekeeper is a glass cannon. She has a lot of damage output, but a very low amount of health. And so they basically fixed that for the augmented version, and she has even more projectiles. And they gave her, I think, probably about an additional 60-70% health. And during her phase 2, she actually heals her whole health bar, and you have to deal with it all over again. So Timekeeper is no joke, especially when it comes to the augmented version of this game.
That's
so we're always
so
kind of praying you don't run. You're always praying that you don't run into her.
We've got to see so many fun weapons with V today.
Boom.
Yeah,
Nice.
in Fresh File and 0 to 5, it's highly optimized, and to unlock something might actually mean that you are missing out on an item that you would have wanted instead. because now you're adding to the pool. So in this version of Boss Rush we're playing, everything's available. Every item. This is Queen.
Ooh, I don't know if I've seen the augmented queen, honestly.
You don't want to.
But yeah, with a handful of exceptions, almost every weapon in this game is great. And the main reason for that is that because weapons derive their damage from how scaling works, and with scaling being exponential, almost every weapon can be good. There are a few exceptions here and there. There's a few skills that I'm not particularly fond of. Vampirism, I'm looking at you. But for the most part, almost every weapon and shield in the game is viable. And essentially, scroll count is king. And so since the boss rush takes care of your scroll count and you are somewhat optimized, you're not overpowered. Like normally for the queen fight, V might have 32. If he's really lucky and got a couple of curses, he might have 34. And that kind of trivializes those end fights because of how exponential scaling works. But with 30, he's got a pretty good build, and almost anything he chooses will work well.
If we're lucky, this is our last one.
So this is it. This is the last boss.
Yep.
So then, yeah, what? Just when you're done, call time on that. But you know.
I cannot get. Okay, there's the electricity. I was really, really worried for a second.
So he's taking Instincto for the crits. He's taking. Oh my goodness, I've already forgotten the name of that guy.
Disengage.
Disengage. I was going to say disassociation. Disengage, which gives him a essentially another chance if he gets full cleared here, which could happen. Some of this incoming damage is wild.
Queen, another boss that you all did not see today.
Fun fact, if the queen kills you before you get through, I think it's something like 20 to 25% of her health bar, she actually brings you back to life. She removes some of her own health, revives you, and says, "Fight me again," which is a fun little Easter egg, just in case. Honestly, this is one of those fights that was introduced late into the production of the game that I think they really knocked out of the park. This was a fun fight right off the bat.
He keeps taking my boy axe.
And I will say, her weapon, the Queen's Rapier.
Crazy.
Oh yeah, the Queen's Rapier is one of my favorite weapons in the game as well. It's got this phantom slash that occurs every time you do damage to an enemy, and you can stack with a bunch of enemies in a row. So it can be a really, really fun weapon to use.
So the line across the screen that you all are seeing, in the normal Queen fight, it only happens here. She's doing them as normal attacks. That is not how she normally works. What does she grab?
I don't know.
Like, I was sworn she grabbed one of the balls. Wow.
Ooh.
Good for her.
There you go. The double extended heal. Nice.
No crits, by the way. During root grenade, boy axe. I hope you see that.
That is really weird. Not sure what's going on there. The finish.
All right,
GG.
You call time here?
Robbed.
Yeah, I say time.
Whenever
On
you
that
want.
one.
There it is. 45 minutes. That's kind of what we predicted as well, actually. GG. Or 46.
That was
That's great.
Board, would you
Absolutely
call
incredible.
time like after you kill the boss or once you get into here? Because like there's nothing else here. Board is our
interesting.
resident expert.
That's right.
yeah.
And actually, yeah, Hollow Rage is saying that she was grabbing the scythes, which might explain why it looked so weird.
Oh, wow. Okay. That was honestly, I did not expect to be able to do it. I thought for sure I
great,
would
man.
die
Well done.
on at least the second one as well as the first one.
No, that was fantastic. Consistent. And that's what you get. Thousands of hours of effort.
Yeah, that was absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, V. That was really, really cool. Once again, why don't you tell the audience just a little bit about you, where they can watch more and what you kind of do. You know, plug away.
V.me on both Twitch and YouTube. Lots of roguelikes, really around the action roguelikes. So expect to see, you know, the combos, high speed, high octane games, but still in the roguelike or even sometimes Soulsborne category. You can find me streaming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but always on YouTube. I'm always up there.
I'm just going to say, V makes incredible YouTube videos, so go check out his YouTube. Very, very good stuff. And Loot, thank you for commentating. This was absolutely awesome. Tell the audience a little bit about you and where they can find you and what you do.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it's appreciate being here. This is a lot of fun. So I stream on Twitch. I'm loot_die, and that'll be me on places like Twitter as well as on Twitch. Not currently doing anything YouTube, but I do stream 4 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and usually stick to a lot of similar games to what V's doing. I do a lot of action roguelites. I have a history of platformers, so, grew up playing Mega Man, Mario, Metroid, that kind of stuff. And that's kind of what I stick to. But I do also have a soft spot for survival horror and that kind of stuff. But I'd love to see you guys stop by and join us for more, because we're definitely going to be playing more Dead Cells. Even though the production cycle might be over, it's certainly something that V and I love a lot. And I don't think I'll stop playing it anytime soon. So I think the community is very healthy in general.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, V and Loot, for being here in the celebration of the Dead Cells community and the speedrunning that you guys all do, and of course the launch of Update 35. My name is Jiggy, and I appreciate you watching this show here on Hotfix. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we will see you next time. Stick around if you missed out on the Binding of Isaac and the Splatoon run, because we're going to do a rerun of that right now. Make sure you hit the follow button here.